And welcome everybody to December 30th, episode 129 of Fat Guys on a Little Podcast. Yeah, we're back on a Wednesday. May not be next week, but we are right now.
I'm not making no promises.
Yeah, so of course this is Steve and
Charles is here.
And BV via satellite from Chicago, Illinois. How you doing, Bill?
I'm all right, man. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. Today we're going to talk about some of the Disney movies and the Wonder Woman, and also we're going to take the Bean Boozled Fiery 5 challenge.
That we had to up our bean count.
Yes, for some reason we decided to do 3 of each level. So it starts off mild. It's like Hot Ones off of YouTube if you've seen that, but with jelly beans. So it ends with Carolina Reaper jelly beans, and we'll see how this goes.
It's going to be awesome. So it's going to be
Bill is going to talk about his picks this week, and then we're going to have 2020 year in review. We're going to try to give you some of the best and maybe some of the worst stuff that, as far as movies, TV, sports, and stuff like that happened this year. All right, so first up, though, we got to start on a little bit of a sad note, but, I mean, she led a good life. Rest in peace to Rachel Gibson, 84 years old, died of cancer. Kim Markey's mother, grandmother to many, great-grandmother to some. A Scottish woman passed away this week, right before Christmas. So she had her funeral, what did it say, yesterday, so she's up in the military graveyard
National
up there. It's in
Cemetery
Holly,
or
Michigan.
whatever it is.
Yeah, it's next to her husband now. So R.I.P. to Rachel Gibson.
He broke out the candle.
Yeah, he's look at that. He's on top of it. So there we go. So that was a little bit of a sad note. Well, let's go to a little bit of a good note. How did everybody's Christmas go? Charles?
I was good. We'll talk about some weirdness later, but I had a good Christmas as far as we did everything remotely and all that, our video conferencing wise, and I had some good food. I had some Beecher's mac and cheese, which I haven't had in a while. I love that creamery that's in Seattle called Beecher's. They make frozen mac and cheese of their particular delicious. And I got some randomness we'll talk about today and stuff like that. So I had a good time.
And Bill, how was your Christmas?
Pretty good. Did Christmas Day over at the in-laws here locally, and then the day after.
Hold on, what was on the menu? What you got?
Oh, well, no, they cooked turkey and stuffing and the kind of fixings. It was sort of a major turkey weekend because I went to out to Michigan to see the family the day after Christmas and came back Monday. And my mom decided to, because I missed Thanksgiving dinner, to recreate a Thanksgiving dinner and made a whole Thanksgiving turkey dinner the day after Christmas. So 2 days straight of turkey. I'm a little bit turkeyed out, but it was all very good. Had a good time.
What's BV's favorite side dish in a turkey situation? What do you got?
Stuffing and corn.
Out of the bird or made normal?
Oh, it's got to be out of the bird.
Like coming out of the bird or made outside of the bird?
Oh no, I want it made from inside of the bird. Made inside the bird.
Oof, it's so gross.
Really?
It
doesn't make a difference to me.
So squishy, gross. I hate it. I want to heave. I can't take
My
it.
favorite side is the
You
green
can't
bean
even make out the
casserole.
bread. What's that?
The green bean casserole. I like the green bean casserole.
Take a big ass jar of green beans, some mushroom soup, and then steam
Yeah.
it all down.
I mean, besides the actual turkey, outside of the turkey.
We're talking about sides.
Yeah. So
Give me
green bean
a
casserole
biscuit.
for me.
And dude, you gotta love a Pillsbury, any kind of biscuit you got, dude. Give me that shit. Give me that shit. I love it.
So it seems like everything, and you had a safe drive to Michigan and back.
Well, we had a tire issue. I hit a nail or something. So M14 suddenly started losing tire pressure. I had to pull off onto a road, Ford Road, over just for everyone's information. If you ever have to pull off an M14 with something that would need you to go to a gas station, good luck finding one. Pulled off onto Ford Road. There was nothing to be found. Eventually pulled into a charter school parking lot and then proceeded to wait. Only to have Sunday a tire place said that they couldn't fix it. And then my stepdad take a look at it and proceed to fix it himself.
Why couldn't they fix it?
Wasn't in the tread.
because there was a piece. Well, no, there was a piece of there was a nail inside the tread. Kind of stuck in the tread, and then there was a small puncture hole that was real close to it. For whatever reason, they just said that they couldn't repair it because it had the 2 holes. So, but my stepdad took it in the garage and fixed it up, and it's fine.
Yeah, they don't want you to repair anything. They just want
I
you to
never
buy
get to
this-
repair a tire, dude. Anytime. Oh, it's too close every time. Like, dude,
well, you gotta buy this new $200
yeah,
tire.
it sucks.
Well, yeah, and this was a $300 tire, so I'm glad I
Yeah.
didn't have to buy another one.
So, well, that's a bummer on the trip part, but at least you had a good time and saw your family and ate shit ass loads of turkey. I went and saw the Hensons on Christmas Eve. No brother-in-law sighting. Ken Henson's
No?
still missing, but we had.
What about his Hellboy hands and all that kind of stuff?
Mid-hand was not around, but everyone else was. Had a good. Yeah, it was fine. Just your in-laws when they get a certain age that they like to keep their thermostat on 975. Yeah, so that's the only problem. So 2 hours of that. But other than that, everything great. And we had KFC. We were the big KFC, and I took me some strips home for lunch the next day. So I do love leftover KFC.
Delicious.
Yeah.
KFC, dude.
Eat them up the next day or eat them cold.
I don't give a shit.
I'll eat them cold.
I'll eat either way. They're
Cold
delicious.
KFC is pretty good.
Yeah, you put them in that air fryer, the old Vortex Plus.
I
fire it up.
I
the
tell you, I
Vortex.
eat them cold. I just
Just
munch
chomp
on them
on
throughout the
them,
day. Cold
What kind
KFC
are you
chicken.
dipping? BBQ sauce or what you got?
I eat plain.
Plain, honestly, don't
Yeah.
give a shit. Straight out of the fridge.
No,
right down
Holly
the
and Michelle
gullet,
are
dude.
barbecue sauce.
Yeah, I like barbecue sauce.
Me,
Yeah.
cold chicken strip wrap. Because you
give
get
a
one, you
shit.
eat it. Come back 10 minutes later, grab another one.
Steve, it's too much pageantry for him to bring out the sauce.
Just be a plain chicken strip.
Give me that strip. What was bullshit? Give me that strip.
But Christmas Day was great. It was Michelle and I and Holly. I made breakfast and we had exchanged gifts. And then she had
Did
to-
you get your savory breakfast? You mentioned you don't.
Oh
really
yeah,
dig
we
it.
made waffles. I made waffles.
Yeah.
Waffles. They didn't want no bagels, and we had eggs and sausage and. But the waffles, the homemade waffle, it's a real
boom,
not as thick
yeah.
as your one
That's
from
a
last
stuffler,
week.
baby.
Yeah, I told Michelle about that. She's like, oh, I have to try that. So
Yeah.
so that was good. And then we watched movies all day. And then Holly left at 5 to go to Smoochie's to get her PJs, and then it was just me and Michelle, and it was a quiet, great Christmas. I love that. I've been waiting
Did
a
you
long
get
time
everything
for
you
that.
wanted for Christmas?
I did, and I also got. I'm a 50-50 blend right now. It's my own fault because that's what I wanted. So I got some fun gifts, T-shirts, stuff like that. But then I also got dad gifts. Like I asked for them though, ties. I got a tie clip. So I was like, I guess I am getting old. I'm starting to ask for old school gifts.
You also realize, as we age, I'm hard as shit to buy for because I'm just a big kid. I just go out and buy whatever I want
that's
anymore.
true.
So I get it. I'm pretty tough to buy for. So
Yeah.
I don't want to hold it too accountable to people.
And I'm going to review one of our gifts, and you're going to review one of your gifts.
Yeah.
Later on, and the one that I've been dying to try for years because I'm all about poop technology.
Yeah.
And one funny one, you ever have someone give you a gift and it's kind of funny, but it just cracks the person up more than usually every gift you give me. But Michelle did it to me, so she gave me an adult coloring book. All about poop. It's like, one's a corn and a turd. It's to see in the morning.
Yeah.
And it killed her. She was cracking and she was laughing. Me and Holly were like, well, I mean, it's kind of funny. But she was dying. I said, no one loves their own joke better than Michelle. I did scan a page and send it to BV for him to color so he could have a poop coloring page. He's like, what is he going to do with that damn thing? But,
BB, did you get any assault rifles or anything for Christmas?
No, actually, this was a weapon-free Christmas.
Oh my
no
God.
RPGs?
Yeah, dude,
I think that's because you can't. I mean, it's nothing out there to be found right now.
Yeah, that's true.
It was
I did
weapon-free.
get some ammo.
In-laws did get me a drone though, which was unexpected but kind of cool.
What kind of drone you get?
I don't know.
He's
I
like,
can,
it's got
I can go way down. I can go way
Probably just
deeper.
debate. I haven't really had a chance to
You
get
know
into it
different
yet,
brands
but
of drones?
I got 2 different drones and stuff like that. I love
okay.
them. Yeah,
I'll have to check.
You had to set up a racetrack, or like a race in the air. For you
that
and
one's
BB to race your
difficult.
drones.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Yeah, like an obstacle course we got dip under and stuff. That'd be kind of cool, actually. We're gonna set up a race thing around Bill Charles's garage. Bring your drone, Bill. So there you go. Everyone had a good Christmas. It seems like no major malfunctions. Bill had a little bit of a bad tire, but all in all, I think everyone had a good time, and that's all that counts, right? Mm-hmm. And then, I talked to everybody. And John, my cousin John, he had a good one. I told you he got the new Xbox he bought for himself.
What's he playing? I don't know. I'm just curious.
Probably Call of Duty. I didn't ask
there's
him.
nothing to play on it. So.
Well, they got the Game Pass, so he's got a lot to pick from there. But
the same one you can get on Xbox One. But it's such a weird time. It's a weird time for that.
So last week, again, we did talk about some of the bowl games. Most of the ones we talked about have not happened yet, but there was a couple. Then now this one we didn't talk about, but all year long, I don't know about you guys, but we all three of us listen to Pat McAfee, right?
Yeah.
So he's kind of been promoting Coastal Carolina.
He's got like roots to there.
Yeah. Well, he ripped on it at first, and they sent him a bunch of gear, and he started watching them, and they were 11-0, right? Yeah. Well, the Darlings of 2020 lost to. Not exactly a powerhouse. They lost to Liberty.
You don't know the perennial powers that is Liberty?
Yeah, 37-34 in the FBC Mortgage Cure Bowl. that's
I don't know where was Boca Raton in Camping World on that.
I caught a little bit of this. Anyone actually watch this bowl game or care?
I caught the last 5 minutes of the game, but
yeah.
No.
So
I didn't know it was on.
Yeah.
So if that kind of proves the point of, well, you're not in the Power Five,
yeah.
they got smoked. Well, not really smoked, but they lost to Liberty, who's not a Power Five.
Again,
it's not like they lost to Georgia.
What conferences are those two out of? Let's
Bill,
play
do
that.
know?
Don't look it up. What conference does anyone think?
I'm gonna say AACC or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say Coastal Carolina is probably in the that AAC, and Liberty, who knows?
I have no idea. What do you got, BV?
I'm looking it up though because I'm just not sure.
The Mac-12 South.
The Mac-12 South.
I don't know. I'm guessing. Now the other one we did talk about because I was running out of bowl games, but it ended up being a good bowl game. The Cheez-It Bowl. Oklahoma State pulls out the 37-34 win over Miami. I guess they were up big and Miami came charging back.
Yeah,
so
okay.
The guy with the mullet, they actually poured a bowl of Cheez-Its on the coach.
Oh, that's kind of
funny. But those are the only two. I mean, Texas did beat up on Oklahoma or Colorado yesterday. It was 55-23 in the Who Cares Bowl. So I don't know, but none of the big ones are really coming until probably Friday this weekend. Got throughout this weekend in the first round of the playoffs. Also, any update on that conference?
I'm still looking it up here.
I'm surprised it wasn't like the first thing you can Google is Liberty University's conference. It should be right.
They
there.
are in the Coastal Carolina is in the Sun Belt Conference.
Okay.
And Liberty.
Oh, Sun Belt was out west. That's weird.
And Liberty is in the
Big Ten was in the Midwest, so yeah.
Oh, they are an independent. Liberty's an independent. They're in the NCAA Division I football bowl subdivision.
Oh, wow.
They're non-conference, but coached by Hugh Freeze,
What does that name sound familiar?
former Ole Miss head coach.
Okay. Well, good enough to beat Coastal Carolina, the Darlings of 2020.
Can we all just shut up about them now, please?
They were going to be the next Boise State, but the problem is they didn't win.
Oh, you saw Cincinnati. That'll be the next one.
So, yeah, well, Cincinnati's got to play Georgia, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, proof is in their pudding real quick.
So, Charles, besides Christmas, you had a wild adventure?
Okay. So, on Sunday...
He puts a COVID picture up.
Yeah, thanks. So, on Sunday, one of my daughter's gifts for Christmas was a big pack of scented markers. And I was joking with her. I was like, hey, let's see if you can figure out what they are. We'll go through them. I grabbed the handful of them, and I started going to Lauren. I was like, oh, what do you got? And I remember the first flavor being root beer. I was like, what do you got? Brown one. She goes, I don't know. I smell it. I smell shit. I'm like, I literally smell nothing. I'm like, this is, okay, that's weird. Maybe it's dry marker or something like that. All right. Next flavor. We grab another one. Lorna, cherry, something like that. I got nothing. I can't smell anything. And I look at Heather, I'm like, dude, either these markers are broken or I got issues right now. And Heather's like, well, what are you talking about? Like, I can't smell shit on these scented markers.
Did you have her put perfume on or something?
What's that?
Did you have Heather put lotion or perfume on and try to smell that?
No, I couldn't smell Febreze in the bathroom, Steve. Like, I can't. So I went to work on Sunday, but I made a point to stay away from everyone. I kept my mask on the entire time I was at work. I was super cautious because if you read on this COVID shit, like loss of smell is like one of the first indicators of, oh crap, you got the vid, son. So like I was like, oh man, like this isn't good. But I had no other symptoms. I had good temperatures. I had no headaches, no nothing. So I'm like, okay, yeah, no issue. So I go to work Monday, and again, I did as best a job as I could to just stay away from everyone. I also wiped all the surfaces down I touched and all that kind of stuff. So then Monday comes, it's actually late Sunday when I got home. I told my wife, I'm like, man, I think I just need to go get a test because I'm like, this is, if you read, it's like all signs point to this. So I went over, I actually made an appointment at an urgent care by Beaumont that's right over
on
here.
Telegraph?
No, on Michigan Avenue,
okay.
right up here is a newer one.
I went to one down on Telegraph.
Nonetheless, yeah. And I go in there and I proceed to, check in, whatever.
Free?
And I didn't pay a dime for anything. So I basically go in and I tell the girl, I'm like, look, I can't smell shit. I don't know what's going on. Someone turned my nose off. She goes, oh, that's the same thing that happened to me when I got COVID. I'm like, okay, cool. She's like, I was trying to smell perfume in the mall, didn't smell anything. I'm like, oh, crap. So they proceed to shove a cotton swab deep into my crevasse all the way up my nose. I know Steve's like, they barely scraped it in there. I leaned back. It made my eyes water. I mean, she went deeper than Atlantis in my nasal cavity. I mean, that boy went, holy hell, dude. I'm just telling you, she drove that boy in. Swabbed it. 15 minutes, we'll let you know. They leave out. In the middle of that, like the nurse practitioner chick comes in. She goes, regardless of what that is, you got coronavirus, right? Like, wait, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm going to wait for this little test. Like, what is the problem? She goes, you have no sense of smell? I could smell, Heather had a really harsh, like, balsam evergreen candle that I could smell. But that, other than that, I got nothing all day. So she goes, well, we're going to do a PCR test. A PCR test is what they call the lab test, the one that takes a couple days. Mm-hmm. She goes, so at this time, my rapid test comes back. I got nothing. I'm like, okay, cool. So then the little chick comes in, swabs all the way into my brain cells again, and then shoves it in there. And basically, then at this point, the nurse chick comes in. She's got a full gown on, like covering up. I'm like, oh, shit. Like, they're literally treating me like I got the vids. I'm like, this is crazy. So they released me out. She wrote me off work, said I couldn't go anywhere. I had to stick around the house until I get this COVID result test for this PCR test. I got it last night, and it showed up negative. I still cannot smell anything. So I don't know. It could be a sinus thing. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I'll be honest with you. I've got an appointment at the end of January with my primary care. If I don't get my scent back from at that point, I'm really going to start shaking some trees and being like, okay, I got a problem here.
With no smell, is it messing up your taste?
Not really. I mean, and that's what because I was telling my wife that because like if you think about what you've always heard is like smell has a big to do with your taste buds and all that kind of stuff. I can taste pretty well. We're going to prove this today when we do the jelly bean challenge and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know, man. So I've got 2 negative tests. I'm comfortable with going back to work tomorrow. Steve's sitting in person with me because I've got 2 different tests that say I don't have. I'm negative. Nothing identified. So
I should be wearing a mask.
Yeah, he probably should be. I don't know. But
did you get the same test Nick Saban got before the...
You joke, but I said that to Steve. I go, dude, I went to the same Tuscaloosa gas station. They gonna keep you eligible, son. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Now, do you get paid for your days off at work?
I only had 1 day off from work because I was off Tuesday, Wednesday, so I only had Monday, and I just put in a sick day for it or something like that. But anyway, I check my temperature pretty regularly because I don't know. What's that?
Anally?
I mean, that chick went in. I got to tell you, that was the first time. Have you had how many nasal swabs have you had, Steve?
Just the one. And I had a blood test.
Oh, I haven't had a blood test. I don't know.
They checked for the antibodies and stuff because Michelle had it back in April, so I was like, well, man, let me get the antibody blood test.
Okay. And did you tell your primary to check that for you? Because
yeah,
I think I'm going to do that at the end of January. Because maybe
if you have the antibodies, it means you had it at one point, but I didn't have anything.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. So I keep checking my temperature. I've got negative tests. I feel comfortable. I went out of the house today and stuff like that, but I'm trying to be cautious of other people. I don't want to get
disease.
I don't know.
Virus.
Coronavirus.
I've got multiple tests now that tell me I don't got it, but I swear to you, I don't know why my sense of smell is just gone. I can't smell shit. Heather was burning dinner tonight, and Lauren's laughing. I'm like, no clue. You know?
Well, you might benefit from that.
Yeah, so that's my adventure in that. And like I said, we're going to get back to work, and I'm going to keep going.
Well, Heather, next time you do it, she doesn't have to shower. Got that going for her.
She doesn't shower anyway.
Oh, man. You're all sweaty from yoga. I ain't gonna worry about it. Charles can't smell.
So we'll see. But like I said, I'm gonna go to my primary, and we'll go from there. But
all right. So Charles had a stroke. He can't smell anything. He's just not aware of it yet.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So we'll keep you updated on Charles. Weird bastard.
And his weird strokies.
Of course, the guy with the biggest phobia is the one that ends up coming up with the weirdest shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dumb luck, I'm telling you. All right, show him the box, Charles. Now, we're going to try to get Charles to smell back.
Yeah, we're going to try to blow my nostrils out. So,
where's the cover?
Well, I got my beans all separated in there.
So we got Bean Boozled. People can see
it's their fiery challenge.
Bill's got it on
They call it the
camera.
Fiery 5. Yeah, let me flip to BV here so the world can see here. And it comes with a little dial. And in theory, what you're supposed to do is with a game, you're supposed to go through and see which one you'll land on. But BV already called us out. BV called us bitches when he first joined us. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go all the way up the scale.
Yes, and these Bean Boozles are available at your local 5 and Below.
Yeah. Is that where you picked them up at, BV?
Actually, I got mine at World Market.
Oh, okay.
So 5 and Below, World Market, anywhere.
It looks like we got a handful of flavors that we're going to work our way through here. We got Sriracha, jalapeno, cayenne pepper, habanero into them Reapers, boy. Them Reapers are what...
So the first is the mildest, which is going to be the Sriracha.
So BV called us out. We got 3 of each bean.
These are the clear red ones.
Red ones. There we go. Sriracha.
Make sure you chew them.
Oh, okay, BV. He's calling us out. He's calling us bitches.
See, I just don't like Sriracha in the first place.
I don't.
I can definitely taste the Sriracha. A little heat, not much.
A little bit in there. A little bit.
More than I anticipated. I didn't think these jelly beans were going to have anything.
Steve was calling everyone a bitch, basically.
Yeah, I'm going to be the bitch.
And I'll be honest with you, they're a little spicy. Are we drinking during this? What
I'm sure you guys.
Okay. Totally up to you.
Okay, so Sriracha's down. Got to tell you, I think I'm with Steve. A little bit fiery than I thought they'd be.
I'm going to owe an apology to Heather because I think by the time
we
we get
called
to
out
the
my wife who tried it. BB, you got any theory on that first flavor, the Sriracha?
I don't eat Sriracha in the first place. I don't like the taste. It was spicier than I expected.
Yeah, it's got some heat, boy. Bring that capsaicin.
We may regret doing the 3 jelly beans.
All right, so back to Steve. So now
the next one's jalapeno.
Yeah, it's
I do
2.
like a good jalapeno.
I like the taste of a peno. Boy, you get them penos. I'm down with that. Steve took 3 to the head. I'm going to take 3. Tastes like a jalapeno, though. Mm-hmm. It tastes
I feel like the first one was hotter.
A lot hotter.
Yeah, we get them wrong? This also tastes like what they put on potato chips.
Yeah. No, it says the second one is jalapeno. It's on this chart.
That wasn't bad at all.
No.
Did we not categorize them correctly?
I'm following the little chart in the back of the
Going
box.
by the box. The box reads that Sriracha is the first one.
Okay. I don't know. Okay. All right. So
I
got to tell
say
you, it tasted
the first
like
one's hotter than the second one.
Yeah, by far. Sriracha's worse than jalapeno on what planet, I don't know.
It's not close.
And the jalapeno, again, has that taste of what they put on jalapeno potato chips, is what I think that kind of
The jalapeno was the level of heat I expected from all these beans, really.
Yeah, I'm still feeling the heat from the Sriracha.
Yeah, so am I.
All right, so now we're on our way.
What's next? Cheyenne?
Cheyenne. Them
Yeah,
Cheyenne peppers, baby.
Yeah, she's
We
off
got
a
them
superstore.
Cayennes. They got a little red to them.
Again, there's not a ton of heat here.
No, I think the Sriracha is the hottest one so far.
They just taste like butt. They taste terrible.
They're like soapy or something. I don't know what the...
Cayenne by itself isn't very good.
That's gross.
It's just basically a heat agent.
There's no heat, and it tastes like
So
ass.
either we miscategorized and got the wrong one.
No, we're following the box.
All right. So far, we got blown out by step 1, and then we're coasting through steps 2 and 3 are not bad at all, but they tasted like shit, especially the cayenne.
Habanero should have some kick to
Okay.
it.
So now we're on to step 4. We got them orangey habaneros.
You already swallowed yours?
Yeah, what are you waiting on, dude?
My teeth.
It's your shoddy dental work you got going on.
All right, good. Now, what are these orange ones?
We got the orange habanero. Now, I'm not a fan of a habanero because they taste like a weird hot bell pepper, and I don't like the combination of it.
And this should have kick.
Now, this one's deceiving because it's orange, and orange is my favorite flavor on any sweet tart.
Here we go. Habanero to the head. Chew them up. Tastes like shit.
I still think Sriracha's been the hottest one so far.
Yeah, I think so too.
How do we screw that up? I feel like we screwed that up.
No. Look at the box.
If we did, then it's the box's fault.
I've hated the taste of all of them. I'll be honest. Like, not a heat thing, not like a, oh my God, it's so hot. All right. Now we're on to the worst one. Make sure you got black speckles on yours.
Yeah, you pick them out for me.
We're on them Reapers. You got the black specks? BB, you got them black specks?
I don't know how to show you, but yeah, I got the black specks.
All right, so we're going to go number 5.
My mouth is a little hot, though. But I still think it's from the first one.
Steve's a little spicy off there. All right, so here we go. 3 Reapers to the head. You guys ready? Go.
Yep.
Don't swallow.
What do you mean don't swallow?
Don't swallow. Get that in there. Get that in there.
It's hot.
What do you want to swallow?
Steve's got a little watery eye. Let me get Steve on an ISO cam. Don't swallow yet. Don't swallow yet.
What?
Don't swallow.
Fuck you.
Come on, Steve. Ooh. Oh, boy. Oh, boys. They get in the back of my tongue a little bit. Oof.
You guys swallow already?
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, swallowed.
Ooh. The worst ones are the Sriracha and the Reapers.
Yeah, those are the 2 worst. Followed by the orange.
Oh, my God.
The other 2 weren't really
cayenne
hot.
just tasted like shit. Ooh, man.
I'm feeling it now.
Yeah, that's a little... What, you got any thoughts on these, BB? What are you thinking?
Well, it was odd that Sriracha was as hot as it was. But it clearly wasn't. It wasn't like we accidentally took the Reaper, because there was a very distinct difference between the taste between the 2.
Steve's down in that milk.
But I would say that the Sriracha, in a lot of ways, was every bit as hot as the Reaper.
Yeah. That's a weird thing. I don't know what.
And everything else was not particularly hot.
I don't know. I think I kill them. I eat so much sambal Oleg anymore. Like, I think I'm blowing my taste buds out for heat. It's that chili paste that I put on everything. Oh, my God. I can't get enough of it, Steve.
You serious right now?
It's so good. Tastes good.
I think it would have been a little bit, maybe it would have made more sense to do one bean. I don't know. It wasn't that bad, but it's
survivable.
Your mouth's still on fire?
Yeah, mine is.
Steve's feeling it. I got to tell you, Steve.
I am.
Steve,
I don't eat fucking flame paste.
Yeah, I get the sambal. I love it.
I think we're ready to try the gummy bear.
No, we got to do that one Pocky, the chip of death Pocky.
They did that on the radio on Dave and Chuck to do puked. I ain't doing No. You can do it.
Is it a ghost pepper? What's in that boy?
I don't know what it is. I think it's ghost pepper. And it comes in a tin foil and just 1 chip.
I think the Carolina Reaper is supposed to be hotter than the ghost pepper.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, let's see.
I gotta tell you. I got that afterburn for sure. I got an afterburn.
Carolina Reaper is the certified hottest pepper in the world. It's 2.2 million Scoville units.
Look up the 1 chip challenge. That's what he's talking about.
The Pocky 1 chip challenge, yeah.
Pocky?
I think it's PACQUY or something like that.
You can just type in 1 chip challenge. I think it'll show up. But the dude on the radio almost died. He was fucking dying.
Is anybody else's mouth getting hotter?
Yeah, I got that long burn happening. I got a definite long burn.
Worse now.
Yeah. It's that long. BB's pounding water. Didn't you say that's the worst way to go, Steve?
I don't have milk, so.
Steve's struggling a bit, I'll be honest with you.
That 1 chip challenge is the Carolina Reaper.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even eat like the hottest Taco Bell sauce. I eat hot as far as I go. Like fire. And
I only use fire now.
Fire just doesn't taste that good to me.
It tastes good. I think
hot tastes better.
Steve's got that burn. Well, I can tell by looking at it.
With hot stuff is I need it to have some flavor too.
Yeah,
it's not burning anyone else's tongue.
I got that afterburn in the back. It's in the back.
It's like on the side of my tongue because the jelly bean got stuck in my tooth. I use the side of my tongue to get it off.
Oh, mama. It's got a little burn.
I'm regretting eating 3.
Charles had to bitch cart us.
No, BV did. BV came on board and was like, "Oh, y'all just eating 1 bean? It sounds a little light over there, dear
I
bird."
was prepared.
Give me the lid.
I would have been fine with 1.
Yeah.
So here you go, people. You want to give it a try?
It's fun for $5.
Try it out. It's $5 at 5 and below. Way hotter than anticipated. I thought it'd be kind of candy-ish.
It was $7 at the world market.
Oh, dang. BB paid a douche.
Damn it.
Yeah. So my daughter bought these for me for Christmas. I'm going to take them home and let one of those wusses won't try these.
Especially the way you're kind of hit off on it.
Ooh, the way it's attacking me, there's no way they're going to do it.
Yeah, I got to tell you, though, they taste like shit.
Yeah, they're not good for flavor.
Yeah, they don't taste good.
They're just fun for the challenge. I'm going to run out of water.
He's tapping it out over there, yo. He's swishing. He's doing all kinds of shit.
All right, I'm feeling better now.
It's going to last a little while, I think.
Yeah, I think we're going to have this burn on our tongues for about an hour and a half. But there you go, Bean Boozled. And
that's fun for $5, though.
There's also, remember we did it on the podcast with Holly, where the Bean Boozled, we get the different, the snot flavor. Yeah. So
that one's a little more fun, I would argue.
Yeah, this one, I'm just surprised. I thought for sure it's by a jelly bean company.
See, you wasn't feeling it.
I just thought it was going to be kind of sweet. Maybe as hot as a hot chip, like those Better Made hot chips. I don't know. Those first three hits, I was like, wait a minute. These are actually hot.
That Sriracha one's surprising.
Yeah, that threw me off. See, we should have started out Pinot, then the Cayenne, then the Sriracha.
If you did that Sriracha do that for your wife and kid, dude. Hit that Sriracha into that Reaper, because they probably will be like, oh, Sriracha was a big deal. Hit that Sriracha in that Reaper.
Michelle won't even touch it. I guarantee. Especially if she's watching right now.
I know why Heather's freaking out.
Holly's already saying no go.
What'd you say?
Michelle asked why your face, Charles, was so red.
My face is always red.
Can you smell again?
And then I just told him that Carolina Reaper was 2.2 million Scoville.
Yeah, that's fun. That's a good little challenge. Good job, Holly, I'd say, if she's listening.
They both said no.
Yeah.
Wusses.
That's
Maybe
fun.
the next thing we do is we get hot wings with Carolina Reaper sauce on them.
Man.
I
Like
got
a 6-wing
boneless.
You
challenge.
guys want us to have ulcers by the end of
Where
the
you
year.
get no water and can't wipe your hands for 5 minutes or something. That would be crazy.
I'd cry. I'd just sit
Oh,
here
it'd
curling a
kick the crap
ball.
out of me too. There's no question.
So our 2021 New Year's resolution is to get ulcers. That's what we're all going to do.
I see your hole and I raise you.
Yeah, we're all going to drink Pepsi afterwards. Fucking give me some Pepto.
I really think I might be benefiting from the lack of nasal. Yeah.
Well, you couldn't really smell them. But the first one surprised me. I was like, oh, my God.
Sriracha into the Reaper is the real challenge.
There really wasn't any scent at all to it.
Yeah, no. It wasn't really any taste. It was just fucking heat and ass. They didn't taste good at all. All right, so that was fun. Still trying to recover a little bit. Oh man, Bill, the king of hot, it didn't even touch him really.
No,
it's
hot.
Yeah, you got to admit though that Sriracha one's a bite.
Yeah, the back of my mouth is like it's finally starting to level off, but it just kept getting hotter.
Yeah, I'm starting to it's starting to die down. So going into this though, thinking it's jelly beans, you thought
never would have thought they'd have reached that much.
Never would have thought it was hot. Bill, did you think it was actually going to be hot?
When I saw Carolina Reaper, I was a little bit concerned because I've seen enough of these kind of challenges to know that that's really hot. I didn't realize it was the hottest pepper. Kind of quick side
What about
note,
the Bootjalokia pepper or whatever, that crazy Indian pepper? BV knows what I'm talking about.
What, do you trip on acid when you eat that one? What, you side note? What?
Yeah. No, I one of the things I got for Christmas was the hot ones sauces. I got a whole set of 10 from the hot ones.
Oh, really?
So I'm gonna do the hot ones challenge pretty soon.
Oh, well, do it on the show if you can. You can bail after the like initially. Just do it on the show.
Yeah, then just go stick your face in a gallon of ice cream. Yeah. You got no sugar ice cream back there. All right. Now that we've regained our consciousness and Charles's taste obviously still works because he felt the heat. He just couldn't smell it. All right, so this, of course, there was 2 big releases on Christmas Day. We previewed them last week, and then I got to watch both of them. Charles got to see one of them.
2 amazing stream releases, free if you had the services. And
now going into this, I thought Wonder Woman was going to be the much better movie, and then Soul would be okay. After watching both of them, Soul is the much better movie than Wonder Woman. I like Soul a lot. Jamie Foxx plays a character. He's a middle-aged music teacher that loves jazz but never got his big break into being in a jazz band or a musical artist. and when he finally does get his big break,
he falls into a sewer.
Yeah, he falls in a sewer manhole and dies, which is some really bad luck. And then, of course, on his way up to heaven, he wants to come back to Earth.
He realizes what's going on. He's like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, I thought
it's coming back the other way. Like,
Yeah.
no, I'm good.
Really clever concept, original story. Everyone's always bitching everything's remakes by Hollywood and stuff. This is all original. Of course, it's from a black point of view. People say it's like a black movie, which is good. It shows culture of different people. I liked it a lot. I can't knock it at all. The only thing I wasn't a huge fan of was those wiry.
The tenders, like the accountable guy.
Yeah, I think they could have animated them a little differently.
But that's like Pixar
fine.
does such a great job of taking a crazy concept, and that's where, like, again, I'm partial to Inside Out. I love it. And they take the concept of, like, seeing the light and going up to heaven and all this kind of stuff and where your soul goes. And they have a way of, like, creating, like, an environment that kind of fits all the explanation of it. I just think they are so good. I was talking to my wife and kid about this. Like, I love Pixar when it's thoughtful. Like, when they are trying to explain something to a young kid and all that kind of stuff. And this movie is that to a T. You also realize during it, Jamie Foxx is a talent. He really is. I guarantee you he's the one playing those piano parts and all that kind of stuff. Like, and we keep talking about, like, the American Treasures, and we add faces to it. I love Jamie Foxx a lot. And
he's up there with Pat McAfee.
Yeah, Pat McAfee, Tom Hanks, and Ron the Rock. Really, on our Mount Rushmore of good people.
Very weird Mount Rushmore.
But I think it was crafted real well. The animation is Pixar at its finest and all that kind of stuff. And I just super quiet, subtle, cool way of explaining stuff. And I just loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah, I can't argue. Now, the only thing that Michelle brought up, and I'm interested to know, what did Lorna think of it?
She loves it. So when I had to finish it up, they went ahead and kept watching it. I had to go to work and stuff like that, so I did. But I finished it up. She came in and watched the end of it again with me. So it's just Pixar is great.
I was just wondering because it felt almost like more of an adult animated movie.
It didn't have a lot of the usual trappings like a pets and all that.
Yeah,
I know what you're saying.
So Michelle and I were wondering what a young kid would, if a young kid would, but apparently so. Lorna, well, she's 8, maybe 4 or under, probably wouldn't like it. But
I also think that Lorna also picks up on the fact that I love that type of movie so much. And when you're into something, your kids tend to gravitate towards it a little more and all that kind of stuff. I just and again, so if Inside Out for me is a solid 10, it's the best Pixar movie for me. This is a solid 9 right underneath it, and a great value add to anyone who has Disney Plus.
Yeah, I can't argue with you. I'd give it a 9 too. I enjoyed it a lot. Michelle enjoyed it. Holly,
the voice acting with Felicia Rashad and just everything, man. It was just great.
Loved the barbershop scene.
Yeah.
I thought that was a great scene. Great movie all around. Bill, any interest in seeing that?
Yeah, actually. Is it one of those ones that you have to pay like the $30 to see it, or
no? If you got Disney Plus, it's part of it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that's even better. You don't have to pay. Sadly, it's way better than Mulan. Like if I paid $30 for this, I probably wouldn't have been that upset. Mulan, I've been like, damn, I want my $30 back. But yeah, this is a good movie.
What did Michelle like? Did Michelle like it a lot? Or?
Yeah. She just didn't think it was the type of movie that
translated to kids,
that they can merchandise a lot. Like even in Inside Out, the colorful characters inside her head, you could see how kids would like those. That's the only thing she was wondering about. Because even the wiry characters that were running it all, is like you can't really make a figure after that.
But you gotta admit too, like, and again, so what Michelle's kind of hitting on is they took like these adult concepts and also wrapped them in this. That's what I think Pixar does so well is they wrap them in those wrappers that just make it so good, man.
But none of us had anything bad to say. It's one of those ones. So, like I said, going into Christmas morning, I had low expectations for this. I thought, well, they put it on Disney Plus. They didn't want
kind of avoided the premium thing.
And I was like, it must be kind of bad. And I had high expectations for my next one, and they flipped. And so, I was quite interested. So that is definitely go for me. 9 out of 10. Charles is 9 out of 10. Now, Wonder Woman 84. Man. Pull up a seat. I might be a while.
Go for it.
This is hands down one of the worst superhero movies I've seen in a long time. And I don't know why. Well, I know why, but I don't know why it went that way, is what I should say.
Again, if you're talking about The first Wonder Woman movie, very
solid. That
People
No Man's
loved
Land
it.
scene is great.
Yeah.
The supporting characters are great. The story made sense, and it wasn't played for cheese, right? It was kind of serious.
Yeah.
I mean, they were gassing. They gassed the
to you,
village.
yeah.
There was Nazis. No cheese. Well, they said, let's make 1984 Wonder Woman, and let's
Batman
just
and Robin
scrape some cheese all over the place. I don't know why. So
was there a big director change? Or
no,
anything?
same woman, but she wrote the movie this time. She didn't write the first one.
Oh.
So Patty Jenkins is the director. Gail Gadot comes back as Wonder Woman. Chris Pine comes back as Steve Trevor, and everyone else kind of new. You have Tina Fey as Cheetah. You have
Tina Fey
Pedro
was as
Pascal.
Cheetah?
Yeah, Pedro Pascal as Maxwell Lord.
He's the Mandalorian.
Also known as the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
So the cast is
You
solid.
had Kristen Wiig, I thought.
Oh, Kristen Wiig. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
always
you
get
said
those
Tina
two.
Fey.
Sorry,
I was like, whoa.
I was thinking Tina Fey's in Soul, not in. Yeah, I always get my Saturday Night Live girls mixed up sometimes.
Well, I want to make sure I understood that.
Sorry,
right.
I had it backwards. Sorry. So it starts off is an opening flashback scene of when Wonder Woman is like 10, 12 years old, and they're doing like an Olympics type thing, and she's going up against grown women. Well, she's still kind of made it from a god, so she competes, but then she kind of cheats through half the competition. So the one main girl, I forget her name, makes her lose. Say, no, you lost because you cheated. Say, in other words, the message is, oh, a hot thing just hit me in the throat. Out of nowhere. The message is, don't take shortcuts in life. It's not your time.
Hard work pays off. Do what you got to do right.
Flash forward to 1984, and there's a mall, big mall, and of course you got a breakdancing people, you got 80s music everywhere.
Every stereotype.
Someone in the let's get physical
They're
video
at Harmony
outfits.
House.
Yeah, of course, all over the place. And these two guys are going into this jewelry store, and this is where the cheese starts. It's like, we know you're not a jewelry store. We know you got a black market in the back. You just let us back there right now. And this is how I'm talking. Is how they were talking in the movie.
Wow.
So, and then they go back and they're filling up their bags with all this stuff in the back of the. Meanwhile, they left the girl working at the jewelry store by the front counter. Why she didn't just call the police? I have no idea. Man, look at all this good stuff, man. Yeah, no, bro. Let's grab your stuff and go. This is how they're talking. Oh. And they run out with the knapsacks over their shoulder and they throw them to their other buddies waiting outside the store. And they start running through the mall. And they go, oh, man, we're going to get away with this. And then she shows up. Music comes on, whatever.
Looking great, though.
Oh, yeah, it looked great. Got this outfit on. Starts beating them up. And they're all making like goofy, like, oh, my God, it's Wonder Woman.
It is like Batman and Robin.
Yeah. And then there's this little black girl. The little black girl runs out and almost gets in front of the bad guys. So she grabs her and slides her into this big stuffed bear. And I shit you not, Wonder Woman turns, looks at the camera and goes, and winks, like winking to the black girl, and then goes back and takes the guys out. I was like, what the hell did I just see?
Wow.
I was like, so it went super cheese. Now they're claiming it was supposed to be throwback to Superman back in the 70s and the 80s, and that's why they were doing it. It was kind of a tribute to them, but it was bad.
See, and that's, we talk about it at length on this show quite a bit. Like, I get that film is an art and whatever, your homages and all this kind of stuff, but like if it doesn't translate to something good for the audience to watch, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
like what does it matter?
So after that, there's no more action for another hour. Oof. That's it. So now
just a cheesy bank robber scene for an hour.
Well, yeah, cheesy bank robber scene for about 5 minutes, and it's really cheesy, and she's winking at the camera.
And then that's it.
That's it.
Dialogue.
That's it. Now it's dialogue. Now she's at work. She works for some museum.
How long are we talking the movie as a whole, real quick?
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
Yeah. And she works at a museum of some sort. And this is where Kristen Wiig starts working. She just started. Okay. She's a gemologist or whatever.
Is Cheetah like a person she fights?
Yeah, in the comics, she's one of her main villains.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
She's kind of stupid, and even in the comics, she looks like a giant cheetah, and she looks like a member of the Cats movie. But okay. It's what it was. It's what it.
I get you.
So they got all the artifacts from the robbery, and one of them is just this generic looking stone.
Okay,
stupid looking stone. It's all it is.
Okay.
Turns out this stone is a wishing stone. So. And I always told you before when I watch movies, and they can be fantasy movies, you have a set of rules in your universe. And then follow the rules that you establish.
Okay.
This movie establishes...
You set the guidelines, and now you're
skewing and I hate when you go past the guidelines that you set.
You made it.
Yeah, I didn't make these guidelines. You did it. That's kind of my problem with the prequels when Jedis are flying all over the place like Superman. But all right, fine, whatever. And so she picks up the stone.
She being Cheetah, she being Wonder Woman.
This is Wonder Woman. So, or Diana Prince at the time, and then whoever
Barbara. Identity.
Barbara's the name of Cheetah at this point. Barbara has no power. She's the nerdy, unsocial, kind of awkward person that everyone turns into a villain in every superhero movie, and she doesn't say anything. So Barbara kind of says, "Well, yeah, it has a history, and it's kind of." And Wonder Woman kind of knows the history of it too because she's been around for 4,000 years, whatever. That it's a wishing stone, and she doesn't say a word. And just stands there and her hair flows. And that's it. She puts the stone down. And then and it goes on from there. Now Maxwell Lord shows up on the TV. He's like basically Donald Trump. He's a wannabe rich guy who's not really rich, but he's a TV personality, so he's finding a way to be rich. He's essentially Donald Trump that hasn't run for president yet. And he follows this gemstone around because he knew about it forever. They never explained why or anything like that. And so he finds out that Barbara and Diane have this. So he's throwing a big gala, and he's pretending to be a big contributor to the museum. And that
so he can get his greasy hands.
That's exactly. Yeah. So he pretends to like Barbara, and they go back to her office, and he gets the stone and takes off. Now, mind you, Wonder Woman didn't say, "I wish for Steve Trevor to come back." She just held the stone, wind hit you. Now, later in the movie, they establish you have to physically say your wish, or it doesn't come true, and you only get one wish. That's the main.
Okay.
Yeah. So she doesn't say it, so now she's at a party, and this dude walks up to her and gives some lines that Steve Trevor gave to her 70 years ago, who she's still hooked on this guy that she met once and banged. Okay, I guess Wonder Woman can't move on. She realized it's Steve Trevor. So on her stone, she wished for him to come back to life.
But she didn't say it.
Yeah, so it's like a monkey's paw situation. If you wish for something, it also takes away. So what she doesn't know is her powers are slowly fading after she wished for this. And this is hour long.
I don't care. I don't know what's going on. I just don't give a shit. This isn't very good.
So yeah, exactly. And so then Steve Trevor pops into this dude's body. She starts seeing
asleep.
She starts seeing Steve Trevor and starts banging him. But to everyone else in the world, he still looks like the other dude.
Yeah.
So she's essentially raping this dude's body with Steve Trevor in it, whatever. So it becomes a giant rom-com, basically. The Mandalorian gets the wishing stone and wishes to become the wishing stone.
Okay.
So now he has all these wish powers. But
he basically wished to get 1,000 wishes, like whatever that is.
But he can't. He's only allowed one wish because the universe... So now he'll trick you. Charles, don't you believe that you should have $1 million? And you'll go, yeah, I wish for $1 million. So he'll grab you and grant it, but then he'll take something from you. Okay, you'll have $1 million, but I take all your life. You know, and it goes on and on and on and on. And of course, Barbara wishes to be as powerful as Diane, but she doesn't know Diane's Wonder Woman. So she starts getting all these powers, and like they show her in an 80s montage workout outfit looking like she's Olivia Newton-John holding up weights. And all the time, everything's super cheesy, bad dialogue, and it's just bad. And then so now you're getting an action scene after an hour. The bad guy's over. He wants to become an oil baron is what he wants to become.
Okay,
he's in the Middle East.
I just don't care.
And there's a giant caravan of cars and shit. Wonder Woman's going through it all trying to get to him. These two kids just randomly walk out in the street because they don't see a giant caravan coming from them. She sees it, goes, oh my God, has to run over there and save him. When she saves him and she's rolling, you could literally tell it's dummies in her arms. Even Holly was like, that's terrible. Like the effects were so up and down.
Wow.
Some look good, some look terrible. And then later in the movie, oh, by the way, Maxwell Lord has a son. He's Chinese. I don't know if you've seen Pedro Pascal. He's not really, and they never say
Pedro Pascal's not Chinese.
No, he's not. The weirdest, and they never say if he's adopted or anything. You just okay, he is a Chinese kid. You know, okay. So that was another weird one. And then, yeah, so it's just so bad. And then all of a sudden, like the rules start changing. I told you. So now the cheetah girl gets like 2 wishes, when no one else gets wishes. And then at a certain point near the end of the movie, everyone can just denounce their wish if they want to. I was like, when did that happen? And then, so it's just so bad. And then the CG's up and down. She's roping lightning to fly through the air. I don't know. And then like her magic lasso goes from the ground all the way up to a jumbo jet to help her fly in the air. It made no sense. It was super corny, super cheesy. It was one of the worst superhero movies I've seen. It was worse than Suicide Squad. It was probably worse than the fucking Harley Quinn movie that came out last year. I did not like this at all. Michelle and Holly both were like, "Ugh, this is bad." It's a 3 out of 10.
Oh wow!
It gets 1 because Gal Gadot's hot, 2 because I do like the cast, and 3, I don't shits and giggles. I'll give it 3.
Do you think it's just? Do you think at this point, like they put it on the HBO Max just because they knew it was a turd? Is that what your opinion is?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that's.
It was unsalvageable,
and also
like
they knew it was a turd, but there would be nothing competing against it here in December. So let's throw it on the HBO Max.
to drive eyeballs to the service.
Yeah, it's bad. And I thought it was maybe just me because all the critics were loving it for some reason. I don't know why. But then all the audience review, they're all like, "This is terrible. What's wrong with this?" It's complete opposite of that first one. The first one was kind of serious,
so good,
serious tone. It was dark.
A lot of people, that's their favorite superhero movie.
Yeah, this one is nothing like that.
Wow.
And then there's a cameo of Linda Carter at the very end. It's so stupid. It's so bad. And they would have cut down to one villain, just got rid of the stupid wishing stone. Maybe just focused on Cheetah and her character or something. There's one Cheetah fight with her at the very end, and it's in the dark for about 5 minutes. And you can't tell. And then, like, Wonder Woman and her are in the water, and Wonder Woman's wearing all metal armor, and electricity hits the water, and she tells Cheetah, "This is going to hurt you." But it somehow doesn't hurt her. She's in metal in the water. I don't know. It's weird. And that doesn't even go into the big glowy thing. That's how Master Lord's going to talk to the whole world and give them wishes through satellites in the 80s that somehow talk to it was terrible. It was so bad. And that Patty Jenkins girl who directed this is going to direct the next Star Wars movie. So, I have no hope for that either. Wow. But some people think it's great. Not many. So, Soul is a 9. Wonder Woman's a 3. If you have HBO Max, watch it just out of curiosity. I mean, might as well. But, man, it's bad. I did not like it at all. Michelle liked it a little more than me, but not much, and Holly hated it. It's overly long, cheesy, corny, and terrible. And next, I did get a couple games for Christmas, so I got to get a chance to play them. PGA Tour 2K21, first golf game I've owned in years. It's kind of a bare bones a little bit. I don't follow.
This is not an EA then. It's
no,
2K21.
This 2K. Yeah. So there's no Tiger Woods is in it. There's only like 15 pro golfers, and I'm going to assume there's more than 15. Right? I don't know. I don't follow.
Yeah, there's a lot more than 15.
Yeah, that's
like 120.
Yeah, well, there's 15. And there's only about 15 or 16 courses, too. So it's a little bare bones.
So I've played Tiger Woods games back in the day. I know BB has as well. There's way too much. It's a lot like punting the ball in the Madden games. It's not a lot of fun. It's just not fun. There's no other way to describe it for me. There was a lot of stuff in the Tiger Woods game where you worked on like your ball rotation, where like you had to hit it and then make the ball spin or back. It's like I don't like video golf. Is what I think is what it boils down to.
Well, I do every once in a blue moon, and this is the first time I've owned in probably 10 years. So. They changed it up a little bit. They need
to come with a peripheral that makes some gold.
Well, they're trying that a little bit with the analog stick. So your backswing, you pull down on the right analog stick,
shoot it
up forward for your front swing.
But nothing can replace that trackball. I think
no,
it
probably
needs
not.
to be that track ball.
And then the putting's still the same way.
You read the weird topography and
you got to
point
move it
arrows.
It'll
show you. Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad.
But it's not. After like an hour or two, you're like, "Am I still playing this?" Like, I don't know.
There's 32 events in the first year of the PGA.
I enjoy the golf.
I'm through about 12, and then I think once I get done with the 32, I think I'm done.
You burn out.
I burned out on the golf.
There's only so many field goals you can kick. You're like, I don't know.
And so the other golfers are in it. I haven't played many of the modes. I'm going through the career mode. You never see them. They're just like, this is your rival.
This is your leaderboard. Yeah.
Yeah, and all you see is a leaderboard. Yeah. So it's only just your guy standing there.
And then you get you can upgrade clubs, which adds to the tackiness of the ball.
Yeah.
It's just, and I would ask my question to you, and just like I said, what's the difference? There's no difference year over year in these games.
I feel like back in the day, Tiger Woods was a button press, you had to stop the meter like a kicker, right?
I don't remember. I bought one that you needed a move controller for that was kind of neat. There was a PS3 era stuff where you actually had to physically swing a move controller, and depending on how straight you kept that move, controller would kick you either. But then again, like I said, when I would swing and then I'm like, hey, to get the rotate, I'm like, what am I doing? This is not fun.
Yeah, like I said, I probably played through a season. And I got it at Black Friday for $25. So
No, I mean,
it's a good price.
Right, but I'm with you. I don't know.
Yeah,
BB, you got any? Have you played a golf game, BB?
I think he owns this one.
I got the game for Christmas, but I haven't played it yet.
Oh.
The thing with golf games is that if you play it, like you said you're in career mode.
Yeah.
You said you're what, 12?
12. We've got
Tournaments?
12 tournaments. Yeah.
Okay, so you're already dominating, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean you play it for
10
like
out of 12.
you play it for like an hour, and your average round is like 10 under par.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you can go up and
you get the special, figure 8 ball that allows
you
you
to go up in the difficulty makes it harder.
It's
but then
too
it's no
easy
fun.
to play it well.
Yeah, I don't know. I just video golf, man. I just think that it's got to be played with, like I said, you really got to get that.
I do like the analog though, the flicking of it down then up at a certain time.
I'm going to check in. I'm going to write down 3 months from now to check in with Steve on his 2K. I guarantee you.
It'll be done by the end of the week.
On a shelf.
Yeah, it'll be done by the end of the
You'll
week.
have sold it on eBay.
Yeah, Steve, I got rid of that.
Michelle's already surprised I played it as long as I have. She's
Yeah.
like, "You're actually still playing golf?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm trying to."
And it's the game, the physical sport of golf is one of the most nuanced, hard games to ever do. Like, just to understand how to hit a perfect lick and do all that kind of stuff, insanely hard. But like you said, like you just use the video game side of it, they can never replicate like I always bring my right knee in just slightly.
They did that. Nobody played. It was boring as hell.
I get you.
I mean, none of us could actually be an NFL quarterback,
But
we
it's
all play
hard to
Madden.
translate. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But you can go out occasionally and throw a nice pass to BV and feel pretty good. Like the odds of you hitting a really nice golf shot are really slim.
Well, it was funny. But every one of my drives 320 yards. It's like I couldn't even do 30 yards in real
you
life.
guys are like, I ripped the shit out of that ball.
I know. I love that little sound. It's kind of satisfying.
Yeah.
That's one thing about the game. You hit that good tee, that ping. It's like that never happens in real life. I chunked into the chunks of grass.
But that's the addictive quality of the game of golf, man. You hit that one, you stick that one green or something like that. You're like, dude, I could probably do that again. Fuck, no, you can't. But in your head, you're like, I'm gonna hit this again.
100 and whatever plus bad shots, and one good shot hooks you and you come back. Yeah. But I hit that one flush, man. It was beautiful. And then
I don't know. I just can't video golf, man. Tough.
As it is, I'd give it about
any create a golfer stuff in it. Create a course
I made
stuff?
Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, but is there
you can create a course too?
Oh, okay. So
yeah, you can do that.
You can put some
you
long
play
legs
online. You can play doubles. You can play stuff online. Maybe me and Bill get together and do 18 holes one time. But it is a little bare bones, so I got to knock it down for that. I give it about a 5. If it was $60 and I paid for it for 60, I'd be kind of pissed.
When did it come out?
It came out August or
it's already $25.
Yeah, well, it was. I think it's regular 39 right now. So it's definitely not worth 60 though. I'll tell you that much right now.
Who's that cover athlete you got there, BB?
He's on the cover. That's
Justin Johnson?
Something.
DJ? I don't know.
I don't know who that is, but they say it on the thing. I couldn't tell you. All right, the other sports game I played this week is NHL 21. I haven't played.
They're leaning hard into the Genesis 94 stuff.
Wow, that's a bunch of bullshit.
Oh,
because only if you pre-ordered it do you get that. Oh, I didn't pre-order it. I got it on sale on Black Friday.
Because it's all on all the commercials.
Yeah, they charge you $10 for that 94 mode. Because I was looking for it. I was like, "Where's the 94 mode?" And then it comes up. Well, click here. Click it. Goes to the store for $10. Like, oh man. But I will say this is the first hockey I've played since 2018. I played 2018 about 3 years ago. The one time, so like in Madden, every year something doesn't work. Like 1 year the screen works, next year it doesn't work. 1 year the draw works, next year, one-timers work again in this one. Because when I had NHL 18, you couldn't hit a one-timer to save your life, but they work a lot better in this one. Now, it's not like you're going to score 7 or 8 goals or anything like that, but the presentation for these NHL games are always great. I always find that I think they look great. I like the commentators. I don't know why any other sports commentators can't keep up like the hockey guys can. I've always it's been like that for a long time.
Yeah, they're very good.
They've also added so when you go to pass now in the older hockeys, especially in the newer version, sometimes when you go to pass, you want to pass to that guy and it passes to the guy over here on the left. They added like a faint blue arrow
Just
over
give you a
it.
directional thing?
So it kind of tells you which way you're passing.
I gotcha.
I like that a lot. So now you don't end up with screwy passes to the wrong damn
a little more
person.
precision passing.
Yeah. So the passing's a little better. A lot of modes, shitload of modes. Franchise mode, season mode, playoff mode, 3-on-3 mode, hut mode. I mean, it blows man out of the water with modes. I mean, there is a ton of modes in this game. 3-on-3 is fun. It's like a NHL Blitz, NFL Blitz kind of version of the hockey. I just play the season mode and then a little bit of the 3-on-3. I don't do that hut stuff. Hut is the cards and you got to pay.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit
The
about
deck.
those.
Yeah.
You can also play like minor league games or like whatever I don't know the hockey shits are.
Farm system.
Farm system. So I like it a lot. I got it again. $25 is a great price. Of course, got to take my Penguins to the title. I'm 3-0 right now. I'm playing on just normal mode. I don't go any higher. The only thing it's still got in an amazing 25 years later, it's still you'll take 32 shots, score 3 goals. They'll take 10 shots, score 3 goals. It's like that drives me nuts.
CPU whip where they try to keep games close.
Yeah, that annoys the piss out of me. Yeah. And I understand from time to time you can get up against a hot goalie, but what happens like every game, that drives me nuts.
I think that I don't know how I can salvage golf games, but I think I know how to salvage wrestling and hockey games, and that's to make them as close to like an old school 6-button shooter as they used to be. Like I think that hockey games, the minutia of it almost took it away a little bit to go back, and they even know it. The fact that they want to do any kind of bundling with NHL 94 and stuff like that, that tells me that even the developers kind of get it, if that makes sense, that they're like, hey, look, we got to lean into a little bit more of that. Because sometimes that minutia of the hockey just doesn't make it even enjoyable. You're like, I don't know, I just want to be able to pass it across the center and crack it, and I don't know.
Yeah, that is true. So, but I give this one an 8. I give it an 8. It's a pretty solid sports game. I haven't run into anything.
Do you know hockey players anymore?
I know Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, like 10, maybe.
I know the guy on the Capitals. Check. I maybe I don't.
Ovechkin.
Yes, I know him. Is Patrick Waugh still playing? I don't know.
He might be coaching.
I mean, after a season of playing it on the fucking PS4, I'll know a lot of players, but right now, no, not many. I don't know. I know 3 or 4. Malkin still plays for the Penguins. I know him. So, yeah, I'm not huge into it, but I like it. I'd venture to say, probably because I took a 3-year break from it, so it's a little more fresh. Yeah. Maybe if I came back to it
year over year, though, like next year, you'd be like, I don't see.
Yeah, if I played NHL 22, I'd be like, ain't much difference from the last one. So there you go. Soul, both me and Charles agree at 9. Wonder Woman 84 is a cheesy, overbloated piece of crap mess, is a 3. PGA Golf Tour, it just needs more to it, so it's a 5 out of 10. And NHL 21, 8 out of 10. Now, BV, tell us about the big winner chicken dinner you had this week.
Okay, first, to answer your question earlier, Charles, the cover athlete on the PGA 2K is Justin Thomas.
Wow. I knew it was Justin. I couldn't think of his last name.
So last week, get back into the win column here. I took the Bills playing on Monday night at New England, giving 7 points. And 38-9, a good, proper thrashing of the Patriots, which I enjoyed thoroughly, because screw the Patriots. But I got the win there. Got me to 7-9-1 on the year. Turned that $10 into $19.10. So brought my overall total down to just down 26-20. So kind of hoping to kind of salvage a break even. I think I'll probably do this throughout the playoffs, just because what else am I going to do? So this week, though, decided to do 2 games. I almost did 3. Oh. I almost bet the other semifinal game.
I'm surprised you didn't take Bama.
I'll tell you why I didn't do it.
It's a lot of points.
So first off, for the NFL game, again, not a lot of crazy analysis. This is just a case of I'm taking. The game I'm focusing on is the Packers are playing at Chicago. Packers need to win to secure number 1 seed in the NFC. And, of course, as you know, this year only one team gets a first-round bye. and Chicago needs to win the game, and I think maybe get a little help to make the playoffs. So both teams motivated. However, I am taking the Packers -5. They're just better than Chicago. They blew them out earlier in the year. They're one of the hottest teams in football right now. I just see this being quite a bit more than 5-point victory. And then in the college games, like I said, I was considering doing both semifinals. I looked at the Alabama Notre Dame game, and right now Bama is a 20-point favorite.
That's a lot.
And while I was tempted to do it, something in the back of my head says that Notre Dame's offense, one, might be a little bit strong enough to keep it closer, and that because the game is only about 10 days afterwards, that this would also be a game that if Bama does get a good lead, I could see them kind of taking the air out of the ball second half and ending up not, blowing a game out if that was the case it was going. So I decided to leave that game alone. If it does go down to, if it gets bet down to 15 or 16, I might consider taking it, but not at 20. So the second semifinal, though, is Clemson versus Ohio State. Clemson is a 7-point favorite. I'm taking Clemson in this game, although I'd hate to pick either team because I hate both of them. But and we talked about this a little bit last week in the in the bowl preview. I don't think this isn't a particularly good line. I think Clemson should be favored by quite a bit more than 7.
Yeah, it's 14.
Yeah, I would think 13, 14 would be a good amount. So to me, I feel a lot more confident about Clemson, honestly, than I do even about Green Bay. I expect Clemson to run away with this. I think Ohio State's going to have to play pretty close to perfect to keep it close.
Do you think that Ohio State is an overrated team, is what you're insinuating? Or do you think that Clemson's that good? Where are you going with that?
I think a little bit I think it's a little bit of both. Clemson is not as good as the last few years. I don't think they're as good on both sides of the ball, so I think they're a little bit more vulnerable. But Ohio State's only played, 6 games? Mm-hmm. The Big Ten has not exactly been, not that the ACC's been stellar other than, Notre Dame with Clemson, but the Big Ten, I think, overall has been pretty weak this year. Teams that you expected to be good have not been good at all. Indiana and Northwestern were both kind of paper challengers, although Northwestern did put up a good fight in the conference championship game. And so they haven't been tested at all. And if you see in some of the games that play, particularly against Northwestern, they need to rely a lot on Justin Fields offensively. And
Steve's not a fan. Yeah.
I mean, they're going to have to play. I think there's going to have to be a lot to go right for them for that to be a game that's up for grabs in the fourth quarter. So I don't know that it's Clemson's that good. It's just I don't think Ohio State's as advertised. Let's put it this way. I was looking at some of the lines, and one thing I was surprised by is that they showed up early lines for the possible matchups in the championship game, and I think they said that Ohio State would be something like a 3.5-point favorite over Notre Dame if they had played in the championship game. And I'd be honest with you, I think I would favor Notre Dame in that game. I think Notre Dame's a better team.
So the usual, Steve, off them BV picks, who you got? What percents do you got?
Green Bay at Chicago. Chicago is. Funny thing is, if Chicago goes to the playoffs and wins one, Mr. Trubisky has won 2 playoff games to Matt Stafford 0. But anyway, Green Bay's still going to stump them. They thumped Tennessee pretty bad.
Yeah, Tennessee did. Ooh.
Well, that was pretty scary. So I'm 90% on that one. Clemson, Ohio State. Yeah, Ohio State might be pumped up and try to win one for Dwayne Haskins. I don't know.
Because he let all the black players down.
But probably I'll go with Clemson. I'm 90% with Bill. 90% on both of them with Bill.
Yeah, and I'm going to echo what Steve's saying. The Ohio State thing, we talk about it. I don't know what they are. I don't know, you can sit there and give me all their Big Ten stats, but it doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit nationally. I don't care. I'm really hyped on that. And then Green Bay looks like world killers right now. I don't want to touch Green Bay right now. So, yeah, it's definitely high. I'm in the 90s with Steve on that one. So, I think there's a pretty sound picks for BV would be my
But as we've covered on this podcast many times,
BV gets screwed by the man.
BV gets screwed by the man. And both of us been backing him, but still got screwed. So, there you go, folks. And also betmgm.com. You can go sign up in a couple of weeks in Michigan. You'll get a free $100 credit. So there you go. All right. Now, Charles, on this podcast, you know I'm a big fan of pooping technology.
Yes. We've covered a bidet. You've turned my whole family onto the Musels.
Metamucil. And the other one I don't know if I ever talked about on the podcast is Poopery.
Oh, I don't think I know that one.
It's a little spray bottle. You spray it in the water in the toilet before you take a dump. Take a dump. You'll never smell it. Michelle has it.
Does it work?
It works great. It works better than air spraying in the bathroom.
Really?
The problem is I always forget about it, then just take a big sticky dump and not worry about it. But
what does it do? Does it
I don't know.
A film on the top of it?
Yeah. And then when your turds hit it, it just.
But the problem is you run aground on that.
If you go above the water, you're screwed. But those are my 3 favorite pooping technologies.
Oh, okay.
Now, so for years, being fans of Howard Stern, all of us, he's always talked about the Squatty Potty. Also,
it's supposed to rearrange your angle with which you defecate from.
Yes.
So it's supposed to bring your internals into alignment by shoving your knees up to your chest.
Also, It's been on Shark Tank.
Yes.
So Squatty Potty's been
Grenier,
around.
I think, went into that. Yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is the biggest waste of money ever.
Oh, you're not feeling the Squatty Potty.
Okay, so let me tell you my experience with the Squatty. First off, it's a cheap piece of plastic.
Paint a picture, first of all.
It looks like a cheap step stool you buy at Kmart back in the day.
It's
that kind of plastic.
Molded piece of plastic.
So if me or even you or Bill stood on this thing, it would probably crack.
Yeah.
So you got to put it down by your toilet. Don't stand on it. I don't stand on it. And then sit down and then put your feet up on it.
It's made to nestle around the base of your toilet,
yes,
right?
But obviously that's too close for me. I got to push it out a little bit.
Yeah.
So the idea is you get your knees up. It makes it more of a line 90% angle.
They say that's
the
what
poop to slide out more
Asian
naturally.
cultures have a better time pooping because of their alignment as they poop.
This is all marketing hype.
Oh, okay.
First off, you got to Donald Duck it. Because if you got your drawers and pants around your ankle, then you're trying to move around this thing, pain in the ass.
Okay.
So I Donald Ducked it. I took
your drawers off.
I took my drawers and everything off.
Did you pooperee?
I poopereed. I'm Winnie the Pooh in the bathroom. I get down. I lift my legs up on it. I got my legs way up.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's so awkward. And then you still push the same amount.
It's not helping anything roll out or anything like that.
No roll out. It's uncomfortable as fuck. It's a cheap piece of plastic, and your knees are up by your chest.
How many
and
times?
And you're wondering why you're doing this. It's 10
How
times.
How many times have you been using this daily since getting it?
I've used it twice. Both times was terrible, and I kicked that fucker aside.
I think you got to go at least 10 times before you can say it's not working. So I need.
Well, I got news for you. It's going back to Amazon tomorrow.
Oh, you're sending it back,
yes.
Huh?
Now you say, well, Steve, you're a big fat motherfucker. And I'm right. You're right. I am. So I said, Holly, get in there and use the Squatty Potty. She's a thinner girl. She's tiny. Didn't work good for her either. She was like, I don't get it. It was the same. Yeah.
So
it's all marketing
How
hype.
much is a Squatty Potty?
$25.
Oh, geez, it's significant.
Yeah, it's $25. Like I said, I believe.
Could you, in theory, had just grabbed your knees?
Or you could have just got 2 coffee cans to put outside.
Yeah.
Or you could just get,
it's just
or a step stool.
Who got this for you?
Holly Michelle, I asked for it because curiosity's got the best of me. I was like, I am the king of poopy technology.
Yeah.
I need to know if this actually works. It doesn't work. It's the same amount of pushing. It's the same amount of strength, and just you're way more uncomfortable. So go figure on that one.
Wow.
To me, not worth it. It's a bunch of bullshit. I think Stern owns part of that company.
You think so?
And that's why he promoted it so much.
Okay.
Made a couple dollars off it. Him and Jimmy Kimmel, I think, both owned a company. But not a fan of the Squatty Potty.
No.
Do not recommend it from Steve's pooping technology director.
But you definitely have some theories on what you recommend as far as in the bathroom. A bidet,
bidet, hands
heavy
down.
fiber, and the poopery.
Yes, Metamucil and the poopery.
Yeah.
Those 3 things essential.
But we also recommend. You've turned again. My whole family's way down with the muscles now. Don't buy straight up Metamucil. It costs way too much, man. Buy the
you buy it at the
generic.
bulk store. That's where I bought it. Like a BJ's or a Sam's Club.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little cheaper. Still $32.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy.
It's 40 for the same cans at Kroger. Have been 40. So I save about $8 by going to BJ's. It takes me a long time to get to that big can too. It's
pricey. Yeah.
All right, so that's my look at Steve's pooping technology.
Oh, okay. So then let's go into my review here. Hand me that. I'll point it over in the camera. So my wife and daughter, my daughter gave me this. So this is direct from Disney.
I think I turned them on.
This is direct from Disney. I'm a huge fan of the child or baby Yoda as
Grogu, as people.
Now, here's the problem with this. Now, I just want people to hear. So he's a cool animatronic. He's got this little bitty controller now that's supposed to go on your wrist, and you're supposed to be able to control little baby Grogu while you kind of smurfs around. They've got a bunch of different modes. I mean, this is really cool, really kind of cool. Until you turn him on and you battery operate this sucker, because I want to put him up to the mic so people can listen to the gears that grind on the inside of Grogu here. I hope that's translating, because he makes cool little noises and everything like that, but they must have used the cheapest Chinese motors.
He sounds like a blender.
Yeah, it's so loud, it's distracting. And again, they do a great job with his look. He can even do like a force thing. Like, here, I'll get him to do his force thing. But listen to the gears that are going on this. He's going to go up on the shelf. Like Steve said, I got a Chewbacca that I love up there. But he's a big misstep in the way of like the collectible funness of it. Because
he's too loud.
Yeah, you should have saved a couple or charged a couple extra dollars and put some decent motors in him. I don't know, man. It's literally just the worst remote control anything I've ever heard. It's
very loud.
Yeah, it's
louder than a remote control car.
But he looks great. I mean, I want to put him up on there so people can see. They did a great job with the molding of him. He came with the little Mando, it's just super great. But man alive, man, what a misstep!
Did he come with a cup so he could drink his little soup?
No, it didn't come with none of that. But I mean, I love this little bugger. There's no other way to say it, but he is. I can't recommend him. It's distractingly loud with the motors and everything like that. But that's the child, the remote control child that you can get a lot of places. I got it for Christmas. Cool to look at, not fun to play with.
All right. So there we go. The child and the Squatty Potty, kind of missteps on both of them. Squatty Potty, really big misstep. Michelle will be going to Kohl's to take back my Squatty Potty.
You can take back Amazon.
Yeah, you can. So that is actually kind of very handy. You don't even need the original box. Just take it there. They box it for you.
Wow.
So all you do is fill out a form online.
Oh.
So that's very nice. So there we go. Really disappointed. I was like, I'm sitting there with my legs. I'm like, this is not any easier. Actually, it's harder because it's
Steve
more
just wanted the poo to just roll.
Yeah, I was waiting
out.
for it to just slide out. I'm like, what the hell? Anyway, if people have different experiences with the Squatty Potty, please let me know because I am curious.
Oh yeah.
Who sat on this thing and think it was great? I have no idea. So now we're gonna go to 2020 wasn't the greatest year. All right, people. Let's be honest.
Kind of a shit show over here.
It's shit show. We went over kind of some of the top albums from last week, but we're old and out of touch, so we really couldn't do more than that. But we're going to do the things we like. I'm going to go over some video games and movies. Charles is going to go over some shows. Bill's going to give you some of the top sports moments of the year that we believe are worth it, kind of. Now, let's full disclosure. These lists were kind of hard because COVID kind of screwed everything up.
Especially with the TV shows. For me,
you probably had it even worse than I did. But the movies were pretty damn hard too. If anyone's seen the movies list this year,
the ones you put on the top, I was shocked by. I was like, okay.
Well, these aren't in particular order. I just
I ordered mine. Yeah.
Oh, I did not order mine. I highlighted the two.
Did you order your sports moments of 2020?
Yeah, I did a countdown.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't do that. So
Steve didn't do it right.
Sorry, that's my bad. But first up, I did play this. So
I thought Darksiders was your favorite game. I was like,
no. The Half-Life and Ghost of Tsushima. So I highlighted my favorites.
Oh, okay.
So my criteria for the video games was I'd have to play it. If I didn't play it, I didn't put it on the list.
Same with my TV shows.
Yeah, so, and I know there might be other games out there, but these are the ones. So early in the year, I played Darksiders Genesis. This looks like Diablo, but you actually get to jump and do some platforming as well. So it's almost like Diablo, but with more stuff to do. So that's what appealed to me. It was on Game Pass. Didn't have to pay for it. Pretty nice game. I actually preferred it better over the other two that were third-person action adventure. Now, of course, the other one came out in February, Half-Life Alyx. We were a little late to the party on this.
Correct.
Best VR game I've played. Arguably one of the better games this year, not just a VR game. So that one is high. We've talked about it before. It's on Steam. Then
if you have any kind of VR headset, you got to play it.
Yeah. Gears Tactic. This is another one I got to play on... This is turn-based, but I just love the Gears world. And I didn't put the Gears DLC on here because it wasn't a full game. So Gears Tactic, I played this back in March. It's turn-based. You get your whole group of gears. You can upload. You can, upgrade them and stuff like that. That was a lot of good. Last of Us Part 2. Now, a lot of people can tell you it's the best game all year. I thought the story lacked a little bit, but it was still solid, just like the first one was. So I enjoyed that a lot. Graphics still good. Call of Duty Warzone. Or Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
Say the platform that some of these stuff are on as you're
okay. So Last of Us Part 2 was PS4, Gears Tactics was PC, Half-Life was Steam. Call of Duty Warzone. Now, this is different from Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare came out in 2019. This is that free online game that Gabe, Eric, and Tyler and I all played together. This came out actually in January, so this is 2020. The best part about it, it's free. You go online against 100 other people, and basically your team's trying to outlast everybody else. This is on everything. It's on toasters. It's
LG fridges.
Yeah, it's on LG fridges. You can get Call of Duty anywhere. It doesn't matter. And the next game, I was surprised it's only on PC and PS4. I thought it was on Xbox.
It's not a Switch game either. That's a misstep.
Yeah. Fall Guys, Ultimate Knockout. Charles has played this a little bit.
Game. Yeah,
it's like Wipe Out the game, essentially. You get little chubby guys. You start with 60 people each round, and then you get eliminated. And the last one standing is the winner. So, and it's like big, giant obstacle courses.
Only thing is it got a little gamey as people started to figure out different things. And but it's still... It's video game Wipeout. I love this game when I played it as a team.
Yeah, and also since Christmas they've added new stuff. You got different Christmas levels,
Season pass,
even harder. So yeah, and
is Holly still
free
into
charge.
It? Curious?
Yeah, she'll sit with me and play it. We play it a lot. She's all big on trying to unlock all the different outfits and stuff. She wants to be a hot dog or a French fry.
That's cool.
Now this is probably one of my top games. Also, Ghost of Tsushima. This is one of the best on PS4. It's a very beautiful
PS5,
game.
you can get it in an upscale.
Yeah, samurai game. Highly recommend. Gets a little repetitive. I'm not gonna lie. It's open world, so you get some of the
a lot of village clearing.
Clear this fort stuff. A little repetitive, but that's the only knock I can give it. Now, Star Wars Squadrons. This is on everything. This is by EA Sports. This was a surprise by me. This is also VR. You can put VR in this. You can be a TIE fighter or an X-wing fighter, flyer. Really, really good flight simulator game. I just don't think there's a lot of those out there anymore. Besides Microsoft Flight Simulator, Now this one surprised me. I didn't think about it when I thought about it. Sackboy: A Big Adventure. It basically took the Little Big Planet, threw out the create crap, and just made like 10 solid stages to play, in line with like a 3D Mario or something along that lines. I'm surprised they don't promote this game more. I really am.
It's a misstep.
You don't see a lot of commercials for it. And then finally,
that's a PS4 game, right?
Yes, that's PS4. And then Ori and the Will of the Wisp is on PC and Xbox. This is another platformer. Very beautiful game.
This is like a graphical showcase. You can get this like 2160p or something crazy.
You're this little white glowy creature, and you go through all these forests and stuff.
You solve puzzle kind of things?
It's more platforming.
Platforming.
So, and then certain platforms don't unlock. You get certain abilities, and you have to go back to the other areas, stuff like that. So that's my top 10 games. Number one game probably is Half-Life Alyx for VR on Steam, followed by Ghost of Tsushima on PS4. If you play any games, play those two. I think you'll enjoy them. Charles was blown away as soon as he played Half-Life.
Half-Life's amazing.
He's a little bent on that, but Ghost of Tsushima, like I said, gets a little repetitive because it's open world. And if you want multiplayer fun that you can have with the whole family, highly suggest playing Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout. A lot of fun. There's another game it did come out this year, though. It's called Among Us. A lot of kids are playing that. It came out in 2018.
It's a weird glowing as the goggle.
Yeah. And I didn't include any sports games on here. because
They're
well,
the
the
same
sports
thing every
games
year,
are the
yeah.
same thing. So, and not knocking any sports games. Like I said, I just like the hockey, but it's
See, now this first one you put as a year of the remake, it would have made my top 10 easily.
yeah. But I just because it's a remake, I didn't want to put it in the top 10.
I get you, but it was a ground up rebuild.
Yeah, yeah. So this was the years of the remake. So like the top 3 I could find, Mafia, both Charles and I played. Good game, a great game. Looks great, but
Just don't play the other two.
It had its time back in the 90s, or not early 2000s. So I didn't want to really put it on there as the best. Final Fantasy VII was a big remake. Kingdom Hearts. There was over 23 remakes this year alone, not including last year, of old games that just been remade. So I don't know. Now the next part is there were certain games that didn't come out this year, but got really supported with new content. One was Mortal Kombat. They put John Rambo. Call of Duty also with that Warzone. They kept once every 2 months would update and add new stuff to it to keep it fresh. And Street Fighter had a whole new edition added to it too. So those games, and you could also put Gears of War with their new DLC that just came out 2 weeks ago, as some nice ones.
Good support.
Now the big disappointments. I haven't played it yet. But everyone knows Cyberpunk 2077. It's being sued. It's being pulled off of shelves. They got to fix this game. If they don't fix this game,
You have a copy in hand, but you refuse to play it because you don't want to play it broken.
Yeah, I want to wait a month at least until it starts working. The other one, now this is the one I didn't play, but I still put it as a disappointment because once I saw the gameplay, I was like, I'm not playing this. Death Stranding.
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, it was a walking simulator. I don't know.
You're delivering babies or something. You're strapping into encumbrance where you're carrying boxes.
It looks terrible. I know. I'm sorry. I just never played it. And then these other two, there's a game format that maybe we should have left as kids. It's the beat 'em up.
Oh, okay.
Like Streets of Rage 4, when you're fighting the same dudes for 2 hours.
Your gameplay's kind of gone.
Yeah, you don't get any new special moves. And then same thing with Battletoads. I wanted to like those games way more than I did. It was so a little bit of a disappointment on both of those. But neither one of them are terrible, but So that's a look at the games of 2020. So Charles, let's go into the top shows. Now this is this could be Netflix, this could be network.
This is any streaming
anything TV show wise.
Basically, I went by anything that was like series based is kind of what I did. So I'll start at the bottom, work my way up. BV ripped on me, but I always got to put it on the list. Great British Baking Show, season 11, showing up on Netflix. BV can shake his head all he wants to. Oh. He's doing himself a disservice by not watching this show. It's one of the most amazing shows.
I've never watched it either.
And you're both wrong, for the record. The other one, Steve kind of was lukewarm on it. Yeah. I totally entertained by this show.
I still don't understand your love for this.
I do love Pen 15. Season 2 came out this year. That's a Hulu show that's very entertaining about some girls running their way through young, like 8th grade, 9th grade stuff. Just a Dash. This is Maddie Matheson's culinary show on YouTube. The season 2 aired. He is one of the funniest culinary minds right now. I can't get enough Maddie Matheson. I've talked about it at length on this show all the time. This next one was a little gem that myself and my daughter really were entertained by, and it was a big surprise for me coming out of the Apple Plus stuff, was Amazing Stories. It was a 5 or 6 part little show, and it was kind of like a little piece of science fiction. Each one of them had a different thing. Like one guy got a superhero powers and different things like that. I was entertained by this show. It was a little Apple Plus show that I didn't put much, but I really enjoyed it. And that made my list for sure. The ABC reboot of Leslie Jones and the Supermarket Sweep. Steve is so wrong on this one.
I do not agree with that.
No, it's so good. I love it. Me and my family watch it constantly when it comes on. I can't get enough
Bill
of
seems lukewarm on it.
VV doesn't care.
It's all right.
Okay. This is my list. You both can kiss my ass.
There you have your own list.
All right. The other one, Long Way Up. This is the Ewan McGregor where he went from the southern tip of South America all the way up to Los Angeles. The other 2 series of this particular show, this is on Apple Plus, by the way, was a little bit better than this one, but I still put it on there because, like Steve said, we're kind of lean for content, and I definitely enjoy this show. Afterlife. This is the Ricky Gervais season 2. I
did watch it.
I messed up and left season 1 off, so I made sure I put him on my list this time at number 4. I love Ricky Gervais. I love that show. His ability to just like deadpan humor stuff.
I was watching what's that zombie movie with Simon Pegg back in the day?
Oh, the Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah. The woman that Richie Gervais sits at the cemetery with on the bench plays his mom and watch.
She's off of Downton Abbey too. If you want to get going,
never knew that.
Another great show that you've been neglecting as well. All right, so what's your problem, BB?
He's just shaking his head.
Threw out Downton Abbey.
Dude, Downton Abbey's so good. That's Afterlife series 2. It's a British show. It's on Netflix. The Great Pottery Throwdown is gonna make my list.
Jesus Christ!
Brought to you by fuck you, BB. This is my list. You back off my list right now immediately. No, listen. By the same people that brought you the Great British Baking Show, this was an HBO Max show here in the U.S.
Do they win a plate if they win?
They win a little bit like a weird vase. It's so fun. They don't win anything on the show. They put themselves through the ringer for nothing. It's so great. Number 2, it's got to be on there. Steve sold this super short. Tiger King on Netflix. We all forget how great and how captivated the world was. I know even BV loved this series along with me. BV loved him some Tiger King. A great Netflix show. And then the number 1 show that I gobbled up as soon as I started watching it after BV's lukewarm review, is I always got to put a dig in there on BV. But again, ESPN.
He flipped you off.
ESPN and Netflix. The Last Dance, it was that 9-part, I think is what it was. It was a Michael Jordan documentary. They had the best behind-the-scenes footage of everything. They had all the interviews and everything. I loved this. I thought this was fantastic. And I'm breaking BV's balls. He really liked it. I just thought it was, for the age that we all grew up in, and to see so much candid stuff. We talk at length on this show about how I enjoy, and Steve does too, kind of the behind the scenes of all this stuff. And just the deep diveness of this show was amazing. I don't know if I just can't say enough good things. And that's available on Netflix right now. But started out on ESPN. It was one of the few things during the shitty 2020 that was a real gem that came out.
So you tell me the Great Pottery Throwdown is better than the Mandalorian?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. How the hell can you have the Great Pottery Throwdown as the number 2 show and omit the Mandalorian completely?
I only did this.
Should be solid.
First of all,
2 or 3.
this is my list, you son of a bitch.
The list tongues the ass.
I only did that to irritate the two of you, because I know the Mandalorian's easy, low-hanging fruit. So I wanted to get out there and do stuff.
Because I was reading the honorable mentions, he's got to be in there. He's not even
mention the Mandalorian anywhere.
I purely did this to go to both of you and just to throw out things that are different. And you're both wrong, because the Great Pottery Throwdown's amazing. HBO Max. Now, my honorable mentions, John Oliver did a great bunch of stuff from his quarantine. He was in the White Void doing all the stuff. Honorable mentions for that. Steve talked about it last week. The Crown took a step back this season with too much Princess Di stuff. Still one of the best shows on all of Netflix. But like Steve said, I was lukewarm on this season. Could have been much better, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And then I threw out some more stuff for Steve here. Steve is a big fan of Ted Lasso, the Jason Sudeikis show that's on Apple Plus, and The Boys. I started slowly getting into that. Season 2 of that came out this year for Steve. And then I talked to my wife and got some of her honorable mentions. She liked The Good Place this year.
Never liked that show.
Ted Danson and the chick who played Veronica Mars, who's married to Dax Shepard. And she got through all of Schitt's Creek and really loved it. She loved it. Oh, my God. She liked The Queen's Gambit. I think a couple of these would have any other year been like mediocre at best, but because of the lack of content. And then much like Steve, she co-signed Fargo's seasons 1, 2, and 4. And then she also wanted to talk about the end of Supernatural as a big thing for her. Yeah. So
that had a long run.
Yeah, about 12 seasons or something crazy.
I never watched any seasons of it.
Yeah, and I'm with you. It is terrible. I put on here just some kind of, we were all kind of looking for what we're looking forward to, and some disappointments, as Steve touched on. Network TV really hit by pandemic stuff. Really kind of struggled, besides for Leslie Jones and Supermarket Sweep.
That sucked too.
And then we also had, how dare you? We also got to say goodbye to Superstore, as we've learned that the end of Superstore is coming up. I know me and
They're
Steve
going to spin
are
off
kind of
Cheyenne and her boyfriend.
Wah, wah. I'll watch it. I'm not super proud of it, but I'm probably gonna tune in. And then Netflix was doing a bunch of imports. I talked to them one week about some of these turds. Avoid these people, the barbarians.
The dad's like, I like the barbarians. I was like, what's wrong with you?
It is terrible. Oh my god. Dairy Girls, Oktoberfest, and Beer and Blood, and La Revolution was terrible. Raised by Wolves. This was the one I talked to you about, the HBO Max series, the original with Ridley Scott was attached to it. This is a turd sandwich, people. Avoid that. That was a big disappointment and just a lack of sci-fi shows. And then some bad animated stuff. I wanted to talk about this too. Central Park on Apple Plus. I hated. That was the Josh Gad, Bob's Burger people.
Yeah.
And then Duncanville, which is Amy Poehler on the Fox one. That was butt too. I did not like
the first
that.
episode. It was
terrible. So a couple of bad ones. And then looking forward to Magnolia Network's coming out. In my house, this is huge. Chip and JoJo, Joanna Gaines, AJ Styles and JoJo.
Okay.
So they're coming out onto Discovery streaming service this year.
They got a streaming service?
Yeah.
That cookbook was booty, though.
That cookbook is awesome. You're so wrong.
Very good.
Make them JoJo biscuits. You didn't follow the directions, BB.
What the fuck is a JoJo
Dude,
biscuit?
JoJo Gaines, man.
I don't know what JoJo Gaines is.
They should.
I've got both editions of that cookbook, and BB couldn't be more wrong. And then the other thing...
After seeing your top 10, he couldn't be more right.
I love how obscure I get on these. And then we got Peaky Blinders Series 6 is supposed to come out, and Cobra Kai. I know a lot of people
Cobra
are looking...
Kai starts Saturday or something.
Coming around the corner,
Saturday,
right? Yeah. So that's my TV for the year. I don't care what BV and Steve say. That's the top 10 shows. I really love the Jordan documentary. I can't say enough good things.
I have to ask one question about this pottery throwdown.
First of all, there's no questions we ask. You should be watching it.
How many times during the season did they play Unchained Melody while someone was sitting there with a freaking, pottery wheel?
Never, because they take it serious, BV. This isn't some bullshit ghost ripoff. This is legit. They're in
Is this why your daughter wanted a pottery wheel?
Yeah, this is exactly it, dude.
Wow.
It's bit us. And BV's wrong about Magnolia Table.
May your home be overwhelmed with crooked coffee mugs and lamps with lights that don't work.
You're both wrong. And that's my top 10 shows. I don't care what BV
for the Discovery streaming service, if you have Discovery, do you still have to pay for the streaming service?
Yes, you do. It's separate of which, and the Magnolia Network, which my household's going to want, is behind that paywall.
What the hell's the Magnolia Network?
Dude, you never... Oh, my God, dude. You never watched their show?
Dude, when the Gaines... When they left HGTV, when the Fixer Upper ended, they're going to start their own... Magnolia Farms is the name of their company.
I was supposed to go there in June, and then COVID happened. We didn't get to go and stuff like that. So we love it. They sell all this stuff at Target. Yeah, we were gonna. BV knows all about it. He's ripping on all kinds of shit.
I love the Fixer Upper. I didn't care for the cookbook.
You're wrong on that cookbook, dude. You're
wrong. The top 20 sports things.
Yeah, I should start by saying this is not my list. There was not. I mean. This wasn't a good year for sports moments because it just wasn't a good year for sports.
It's also hard to track sports. Worse than our show.
Yeah.
Wait, you see the movies. That was fucking impossible.
Yeah. So, I guess starting with number 10, a little bit unique this year. Masters golf tournament, normally played in April, was played in the fall this year. I think it was October. And Dustin Johnson wins by 5 strokes. He broke the overall record for major championships by finishing at 20 under.
So how close have you or Charles come to being 20 under?
On golf games, I do it all the time. 20. Oh, and please.
So wait, this isn't your list, BV? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no. I put it together, but I try to do it more. I added a couple little things.
I was going to say the Pat McAfee thing was on a list.
I put that. That's partially mine, but a lot of it was just trying to. But some of the more serious stuff was trying to determine sort of significance based on the moments that would actually be sort of the most significant moments of the year. So his mention of Pat McAfee brings me to number 9. And this is more just some homage to the show's love of the Pat McAfee show and Pat McAfee generally. But Pat McAfee show taking over the sports talk world. He had been doing a podcast and was streaming live and still does stream live to YouTube, but went back to Mad Dog Sports this year, so back fully on Sirius and XM. And as you also know from our conversations, he has been working angles and has done a couple of very successful matches in NXT, which is, I guess, still considered to be WWE's developmental organization.
Did you see, not to interrupt you, but did you see the 20-minute interview he did with Stone Cold Steve Austin? Oh, he's fanboying out like a motherfucker. He was on his show, and Austin came on there. It was great. It was pretty good.
Yeah, he was really he had fanboyed before that too. Stone Cold did a podcast with somebody else, and he critiqued both his wrestling and somebody else's. I forget who the other person was, but
super good show.
Stone Cold was apparently a fan of. He basically had said that he looked really good for not having done it before, and that he was already dominating, just destroying the rest of that league on the mic. So,
yeah.
So anyway, so love to the Pat McAfee show, number 9. Number 8, which as many of these moments were not positive, the cancellation of the NCAA basketball tournament, both men's and women's. One of the most exciting times of every year in sports. It's one of my favorite sporting events. Just didn't happen this year. Number 7, Lakers win the NBA championship over the Nuggets.
Nuggets?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. No, it wasn't. It was the Heat.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Nuggets were in the West.
The Nuggets were the team they beat in the Western Conference Finals. Excuse me. It was in the Miami Heat. Thank you. Significant.
Doesn't matter. He's an asterisk anyway.
The
bubble championship.
Because of it being the Lakers and another championship for LeBron, although Anthony Davis pretty much carried that team in the playoffs. Number 6, and maybe this should have been a little bit higher, but the postponement of the Summer Olympics scheduled for Tokyo.
That's a pretty big deal. You don't think so?
I don't give a fuck about the Olympics.
I like
wrong
the Olympics.
about
They just canceled
the Olympics.
permanently.
Are freaking awesome.
I don't like the Olympics. Steve's always a hater when it comes to that.
This is fucking Olympics.
Number 5, I have LSU winning the national championship over Clemson.
Wow, what a difference a year makes.
Yeah, really, right?
Yeah, seriously.
The
culmination. This was, though, at the beginning of the year, the culmination of Joe Burrow's storybook senior year in football. Kind of.
Little did you know the whole program just fell apart.
Yeah, the whole kind of coming out of nowhere and having a dominant year. Number 4, I have NASCAR standing with Bubba Wallace. You recall
the exact moment Bert quit watching NASCAR.
What?
It's the exact moment Bert quit watching NASCAR.
Oh, well, yeah. So, you recall the incident with someone hanging a noose in the pit garage at Bubba Wallace's stall in Talladega, and NASCAR sort of getting behind him and getting the Black Lives Matter and other support there, and then also banning Confederate flags at their races. So a bit of an unexpected but very positive move by NASCAR.
2020 for them to do that. That's some crazy shit.
Well, I mean, progress is still progress.
I'm just saying, like, how terrible.
Yeah, agreed. Too long coming, but
Chief Wahoo just got banned. What are we doing? Like, what's going on in this country?
Number 3, the Chiefs win the Super Bowl earlier this year over the 49ers, and
they got
MVP,
that in right before
everybody's favorite quarterback, that laser rocket arm, Patrick Mahomes.
Laser rocket arm.
Chris Collinsworth has had a hard on ever since.
He's been stroking himself nonstop ever since. Number 2, because the death of Kobe Bryant sort of dominated so much of the news, particularly the first half of the year. There was a celebration of his life at the Staples Center before the NBA shut down for the bubble, or shut down and later came back in the bubble. This was February 24th. It was just a little bit under a month after the tragic
one
helicopter.
Of the most fucked up celebrity deaths.
Yeah, almost that didn't seem real, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so 20,000 people. Actually, there was a lottery to get into that stadium for the celebration. But 20,000 people. You had celebrities and former players such as Shaq and Michael Jordan that spoke, and big event there. And finally, I don't think sports was dominated so much by COVID that COVID has to be the number one sports moment or moments or kind of dominant of 2020. We all know that it took over, ended temporarily the NBA, NHL, and delayed the Major League Baseball seasons. It also almost completely derailed college football and other sports. Countless games canceled and postponed. But on top of that, we also mentioned the NCAA tournament being canceled because of COVID. COVID also killed the XFL season, which seemed to be
that's a good point.
Positive after only 5 weeks. There was no.
Now it's Dwayne the Rock Johnson's XFL. Yeah, that's a good point.
Spent $15 million to buy it. No Little League World Series, no CFL football season, no College World Series for men or women, no Wimbledon, no NFL Hall of Fame game or enshrinement ceremony.
Or preseason, but that's a positive.
Yeah, no NFL preseason, no Ivy League fall sports of any kind. And how many other non-revenue generating sports seasons were lost in college?
He just quotes the Ivy League.
That's the most random.
And the British Open in golf wasn't played this year. Mm-hmm. So, and as we already mentioned too, the Olympics were postponed until 2021. So COVID, I think, has to be, for worse here, the top sports moment because it basically just destroyed all sports.
Yeah.
So some honorable mentions, and it was kind of tough to find things to put in overall, but some things I thought were notable. The first ever remote NFL draft. That draft was scheduled to be in the new in Las Vegas, the new home of the Raiders, but of course had to be remote because of COVID. Tyson Fury's knockout of Deontay Wilder earlier in the year to unify the heavyweight titles. Sarah Fuller, the place kicker for Vanderbilt, being the first woman to play in Power 5 football.
She scored too, right? I think she scored.
Kicked a couple extra points. Yeah. Ron Rivera, and I don't think this is. I think this was kind of a big deal, and it wasn't a whole lot made of it. Ron Rivera has been coaching the Washington Redskins. He's the head coach of that
Washington football team.
Washington football team, excuse me. Yes, but he's been coaching that team all season, and he has started and completed cancer treatments while continuing to coach the entire time. So, impressive. And then finally, I think what most of us, I think, would agree is, to this date, the college football game of the year. Notre Dame Clemson won. That would be the game that Notre Dame won, not the ACC championship of a couple weeks ago.
I think you missed one honorable mention. Logan Paul turning Nate Robinson into the world's best meme.
Or Snoop, the commentating.
I was thinking of mentioning something from that, but I didn't really look at that so much as a sporting event as it was more kind of
there was a death.
Steve's meme of 2020.
My meme of 2020.
That was the meme of 2020. Some disappointments. Obviously, COVID is the biggest disappointment because it just derailed sports altogether. The entire NFC least, but particularly Charles and my pick the Super Bowl. That
Eagles and Cowboys.
The Eagles and Cowboys. Although the Cowboys apparently do have a chance to win the division
they do.
This weekend. I don't think it's going to happen, but they have a chance to do so. In college football, LSU, we talked about what a difference a year makes. They just completely went down the toilet this year. Michigan football.
You don't got to say anything.
Was that a disappointment?
And the thing is as much as we all hate Michigan, and we do, much like a lot of other of these polarizing schools, college football is better when these teams are good. At least when they're good enough for them losing games to mean something.
Yeah.
I mean, when you come out and get run by Michigan State, who barely won any other games, and then have to go to double overtime to beat Rutgers, it makes everything else just,
The only issue I had with it is they were so bad this year, and we were so understaffed. Half the Michigan fans weren't working, so I couldn't rub it in. A lot of people. I was kind of annoyed with that.
Kentucky basketball was disappointing. They've started 1-6 this year, which for Kentucky is just unheard of. And then in the NBA, if you recall from the playoffs, Bucks and Clippers were two of the main favorites, particularly the Bucks in the playoffs to go to the finals, and both of them lost in the second round.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So, and then as far as 2021, Steve won't agree with this, but looking forward to the 2021 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. I'm hoping for some big fights in boxing, particularly Tyson Fury, Anthony
What
Joshua.
about Mayweather and Paul?
Steve wants you to just have some jobbers in there.
Well, yeah, no thanks. Or Terrence Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. I don't think that one's going to happen. Finally, hopefully, if COVID stays contained enough for them to continue forward, I'd love to see the NCAA basketball tournament this year. A full season of college football, because this has been, again, even though my squad is the number one seed here, and I'm giving no credence to the national champion this year. This is not a year where anyone really got to see who the best teams were. None of them had to play each other until now. I'd like to see whether or not we're going to have a meaningful fight for Conor McGregor.
You will in January. I was just going to tell you. So he's going to fight Dustin Poirier, and then the rumor has it whoever wins that fight is going to get Khabib again. So.
Oh, I thought Khabib retired.
Well, I mean, he's a boxer.
Sure, the winner doesn't get a Paul brother?
No one wants a Paul brother.
Damn it.
And finally, what I'm looking forward to probably the most in this upcoming year is Charles Markey. You're Fat Guys on a Little Podcast Zone, Charles Markey, debuting on the Strongman.
Get them farmers' handles out.
Let's
go.
He's coming over the crunch and start flipping that tire.
That. So look forward
fun.
to seeing him, test his mettle against, Eddie Hall and
yeah, they're boxing him and Hafthor Bjornsson.
Hafthor Bjornsson and other greats of strongman.
All right, so there's the sports. Not enough Nate Robinson on there.
Steve just wanted more memes.
All right, we'll go top 10 movies. Man, this was hard.
I was going to say.
This was hard.
The fact that the old guard with Charlize Theron.
Yeah,
were there 10 movies this year?
Yeah, well, barely.
I was going to say.
Oh, you got to pull in all the streaming movies.
Yeah,
I guess
so
that's
the
only
first up would be Tenet with Christopher Nolan movie, Warner Brothers.
Any other year, this doesn't make your list.
It doesn't make the list, but because of this year, it made the list. I mean, visually, it's cool. The acting is good, but the storyline's so convoluted and retarded in parts. But it's Christopher Nolan. He's so edgy. Well, hands down, one of the best movies of the year is Greyhound with Tom Hanks on Apple TV+. They don't bullshit around. It's so tense, and I never had a boat movie that was a thriller. It was a great movie. The other one is my home videos of Hillbilly Elegy. Ron Howard, Glenn Close on Netflix.
I don't think this makes anyone else's top 10.
No.
Steve, it's just,
Dad watched it.
This is Steve's list.
Dad watched it. He comes over to me at the funeral. He's like, "Listen, that Hillbilly Elegy, I watched it. Only about half pertains to you. And the other half," I go, "Dad, it wasn't dead nuts on, but it's pretty damn close."
He's trying to realize you screwed up your childhood.
Yeah. So another close one, not close one, but another new one that just week, Soul. Obviously, I had to put that in the top 10. This one surprised me. I really kind of like this movie, Invisible Man. Elizabeth Moss from Sony surprised the hell out of me that this movie was actually decent.
That's the girl with the eyes on the side of her head. She got a head like a fish.
Yeah. But if you get a chance, if you're bored one day, watch it. It's not that bad. The Old Guard, Charlize Theron and Netflix. This is the Eternal Warriors.
Steve was running out of shit for this one.
It was
any
okay.
other year, this doesn't make it.
No, probably not. But this year, the Bad Boys for Life. I saw this in the theater in January before COVID hit, so I enjoyed this movie.
I saw that one too in the theater.
Yeah, so Bill and I
remember
both
those? You guys remember theaters?
yeah, what were those things? I saw this one on DVD, The Gentleman. It's a Guy Ritchie movie. Charlie Hunnam from.
You were only lukewarm on this, weren't you?
Man, it's hard. I told you it's hard. Yeah, then the next up was The Way Back. It's Ben Affleck. Inspirational sports movie. He's a raging alcoholic. You know that. And this last one was a Bad Education. If you remember,
this is a great one with Hugh Jackman.
And the lady from Mom.
Good movie.
This was actually pretty good. Yeah. So I mean, I was so struggling. I had Lovebirds on here for a while. I was like, oh, this movie's not good. I don't know what to do. But out of the 10, I would say Greyhound for people outside of my family. And then people inside of my family should be Hillbilly Elegy. So,
and then you said I agree with you on Bad Education. I think Bad Education is very good, and I also like your Bad Boys. I think those are. But that like I said, that Old Guard should always staring.
Did you watch it?
No, I don't know what that is.
It wasn't bad.
And like you said, you have that Invisible Man caught you in a weird way.
Yeah, it really surprised me because Bert told me it was good. I was like, oh, whatever, Bert. And I saw it. I was like, yeah, it actually ain't that bad.
So
I was quite surprised. Yeah. Now, of course, I had some big disappointments.
Number one, you just hit up this week.
We already talked about this week. Wonder Woman 84. hot steaming pile of turd.
Is that your biggest disappointment of 2020?
Oh, hands down, because
Yeah?
the first one was so good.
The first one was good.
Had a huge budget. This was supposed to be,
like HBO Max is giving you like a straight up treat. You're like, dude, I get this for free.
Yeah, you had Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. So this was the Wonder Woman's Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all right, let's do this. You got her arch villain, Cheetah. Oh, God, that was terrible. Of course, the next one is, I still don't understand how Pete Davidson's funny. King of Staten Island. That was a flaming turd. The next one, Bill and Ted Face the Music.
Why did this get made?
Yeah, it was terrible.
Keanu Reeves Renaissance.
Capone. This
You
is Tom
hated
Hardy.
this one.
A man shit in his pants. I really need to see that. And this next one was so hyped up by everybody, and I saw it. And I was
People
like,
liked it.
I don't get it. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. It's the by the numbers animated kid. It was terrible. I actually didn't see this last one, so I broke my own rule.
I did.
Charles did. Told us how terrible it was.
Yeah,
And
it was
Practical
not good.
Jokers, the movie. Once Charles's review came out on it, I was like, I'm not touching that
Yeah,
movie.
to me,
And
it
I really
was like
liked
a
the
longer
show.
episode. I love Impractical Jokers, and they made a movie and charged you for an episode of Practical Joker.
So I didn't put what I'm looking forward to 2021, but I am looking forward to all the HBO Max stuff, at least the movies I want to see, namely
June.
Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's high on my list.
I'm thinking Dune. I want to see
Dune,
Dune.
want to see that? I want to
Is
see
that one? Is
Suicide Squad 2.
What about the one that we saw on Apple Plus? That's based on the Old Boys books, the sci-fi
yeah.
one.
I
That
can't
looks
think of the name
really
of that.
good. Yeah.
God, I can't think of them.
Yeah, me and you
'Cause I got
both
the
were like,
audiobook on it. It was
man,
terrible.
I'm kind of into it.
Foundation.
Yeah.
Talking about Isaac Asimov?
Yeah, that looks
Isaac
good.
Lickamoff
yeah.
Foundation. Yeah, I hope the show's good because the book was terrible. Looking forward to that. Of course, I'm looking forward to all my comic book. I'm looking forward to that James Bond if it gets released this year.
Yeah, and The Quiet Place 2.
Quiet Place 2, want to see that. Yeah. So there's some movies coming. I don't know how they're going to get to us. I don't know if they're going to a theater or they're going to on demand. I don't know. So eventually we'll hopefully get to see something this year. Besides this terrible top 10 list.
Yeah.
Out of this top 10, maybe 6 deserve to be on there. The other 4 are just kind of, I need to
I
fill
think
in.
that out of any other year, about half of these would have gotten clipped, would be
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right, so now we got a little bit of news, and then we'll get out of here. So Batman, the animated series, is coming to HBO Max in January. I know you have them all on DVD.
I'm going to rewatch it.
I don't know if they're going to do them, because there was an HD
I'm
version.
going to rewatch.
They re-released them in Blu-ray. So I don't know if they're going to get that or they're going to standard def ones.
I don't care. I'm going to rewatch.
I'm just curious. But also,
I saw this. They're going to release the Batman Beyond with
Batman
it, too.
Beyond,
I don't
too.
know that one that much.
I bought, actually, I had Michelle get that to me for my birthday. I got the whole series.
Batman Beyond or
Yep.
animated series?
Batman Beyond.
Oh.
Because I was always I watched the whole fucking series.
Are you going to tell me that Batman Beyond's better than the animated series?
No, I'm not going to tell you that.
Oh,
but,
I was like,
it's
whoa.
solid, though. It's a good show.
No, Batman the animated series is
The one
so
they have
good.
no love they never put on these things is Superman the animated series. Where the hell's my Superman? They had 3 seasons of that, and I just it never comes out on streaming.
I'm going to jump from the Wonder Years as my fill-in show right now with The Boys, and then I'm going to jump to Batman the animated series.
How far are you on The Boys now?
I'm almost through the first season. It does get a little slower. I'm kind of like, like you can pick up the pace a little bit. Started out hyped, and I was like, okay, come on, like,
I don't want to ruin for you some good
All right,
stuff.
I'm gonna sit back, but yeah.
Warner Brothers also, now you already know their strategy for 2021. They came out and said in 2023, I don't know what they're doing.
The jokes
Nobody
out here,
knows
'cause-
what's happening in 2022.
I mean, who the hell's like, you know what? 2023, they're gonna release. Like, what are we talking
Yeah,
about?
I
Like,
don't
this is the
know.
most incredible thing I've ever seen.
I think they
theaters are
had
going to
to.
release them into?
Also true. The theater's gonna be around for 2023.
Trump will get the stimulus for him. I don't know.
Dude, yeah.
So I had to do it because a lot of the directors and writers are pissed off of what they did on the HBO Max, because a lot of their contract has behind the scene money for how they produce in theaters. So a lot of directors were starting to try to go to Sony and Disney and stuff, saying we're out of Warner Brothers. So I guess they had to come out and make a statement. Hey, we're going to go back to theaters, but there may not even be a theater to go to. So who the hell knows? And finally, I always like to put news on plant-based stuff because Charles looks for it so much. Omnipork is going to make a plant-based Spam in Korea and China.
I smell a taste test. Do you guys smell it? I know I do.
Some fried Omnipork.
How do you guys take
Spam.
your guys' Spam? I need to know right now.
I would just fry it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
When was the last time you ate Spam?
I ate it when I went to Hawaii.
Do you? Did you? On what? Like a bun? Like a sandwich?
I don't know. Someone had it because it was so huge in Hawaii. I was like, well, I got to eat Spam because everyone's eating Spam.
What am I missing here?
Yeah, and it was just Spam. I was like, what the hell?
Spam's got a gross texture.
That was on my honeymoon, so that was 17 years ago.
Recent?
Yeah. So,
BV, you a big Spam guy?
No. I think the last time I had it, I was probably a teenager.
And he ate it raw.
Oh, just chunked it.
No, I also had it fried.
Oh.
He used the straw and sucked up that goo.
Oh my God! I'm telling you, man, we're ready. That boy comes out, we're getting it.
So there we go. That's a little bit of the news.
Don't shake your head, BB. You got to go find a can. You got to join us. What are you doing?
Awesome.
Have Abby prep it for you.
So now, Charles, you're asking this question. What is everyone looking forward to in 2021?
No, just in general. I didn't ask you, but I'm all for it. You got any resolutions for 2021? And we got any New Year's resolutions? Steve, what are you looking forward to? What do you got?
The vaccine.
Yeah.
My wife's supposed to get it next week.
I thought she was supposed to get it this week. Next week.
She's on vacation this week, so
okay.
Monday or Tuesday next week she'll have it. So yeah, let's start with the vaccine. That'd be a good one. A lot of people could tell you, I'm looking forward to going back to sports games and concerts. No, I don't want to go back to any of those. But I don't know. Movies. I love my movies back. I know Charles says the theater's dead. And I can't argue the fact. I mean, you can go to the theater now, but you can't eat or drink anything in it. That's a great 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I'd love my. And then Scott went and saw News of the World with Tom Hanks, him and his woman at the theater. Said it was a great movie. So I really want to see that. Maybe in 2021. I don't know.
You got any resolutions? What's the Steve resolution for 2021?
Well, it's always work on the fat,
Yeah.
I need that's number one. Get my Best Buy bill paid off with my stimulus check. That's number two.
Yeah.
That's about all I have off the top of my head,
BV, what do you got for 2021? What is BV looking forward to?
Well, I think I'm with Steve on the vaccine. In fact, I actually got contacted by my doctor's office today to see if I had interest in it.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And so they're going to do an update the first week of January. So hopefully I'll be able to get it sometime in January, which would be nice.
That's cool.
I'm with him. I don't care about going to sporting events or concerts or whatever. I'm just looking forward to the possibility of seeing kind of life go back to sort of normal.
What will be the new normal kind of thing?
Well, yeah, where you can relatively comfortably go out and do things. You don't have to, go through major planning and fear every time you want to, have any kind of a social interaction with anybody. Would like this to be able to kind of go do things without constant, fear of COVID.
Yeah, how about a theater or a restaurant being open? Yeah. That's what I look forward to in 2021.
Being able to eat a chicken fajita roll up without wondering if the guy in the back's got that vid.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, I don't really do resolutions, but along with Steve, I would need to obviously work on the health. And I've gotten, I may have mentioned, I recently got back into playing guitar, so I'm gonna make a point to spend more time with that because I'm enjoying it. So maybe found another hobby I can do that's relaxing.
I forgot my other resolution to make Spooge great again.
Oh yeah,
Spooge.
Tops of Steve's list. I gotta tell you, I want to travel again. Like I wanted to go back to Texas. I told you I wanted to go. We were gonna go see Riri's freaking ranch and everything like that. And my daughter, what? Ree Drummond in the Pioneer Woman. We were going to go see all that, and I just didn't get to do any of that. And then it's working in the hotel industry. I can travel for cheaper, but I can't go anywhere. My daughter's freaking out about wanting to be able to travel again and stuff. And I just want to travel. I also want to be overweight and no longer obese. I've got 17 pounds to go, and I will be considered overweight based on my BMI. So if I can get to overweight, it's a big 2021 for me. Right now, I'm just considered obese, and I'm kind of bummed. I got a 32.2 BMI, and I got to get below 30 to be overweight. So it's the little things in life.
All right. Oh, also, my New Year's resolution is to make sure Nate Robinson really isn't dead.
Yeah. More memes for
Steve. Yeah, make sure he is alive and well with his family. All right, so that's going to do us for this week. Of course, you can catch us on fatguyslittlepodcast.com or on Apple iTunes, Google Play, or, of course, on Facebook on whatever day we stream live.
Yeah, randomly.
We're going to try to get... That's our resolution for 2000. We'll try to get a steady schedule.
No, you can't. I can't make that resolution.
Once Charles
work in hotels, man.
He starts getting the co-workers back in his fucking, fucking division.
And it don't look like it.
Need to hire some motherfuckers, get them off that unemployment.
Oh,
and then they're going to get their extra $300 a week. They ain't never coming back.
Crazy.
So until next week, this is Steve.
And Charles.
Check you next time.